0. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Week 10 of Minnesota LCS Day 2. This is Thursday, April 6th. We have 3 very exciting matches coming your way tonight. I am Steve Sir Buttkit Kangas on play-by-play with my friend Sam Moneytrees Duco on the color commentary. Sam, give a shout-out to the fans.
Hey, fans. How's it going?
This is going to be a really, really exciting day. Not only do we have the hypest of hype matches at 9 p.m., but we also have 2 very important matches just for seeding purposes in our first 2 games of the day. So let's hop right into that. But first, a word from our sponsor. Thank you, Envade Gaming, for helping sponsor this tournament, helping with the prize pool, helping with monetary purposes for a lot of the backside work that we do here. Go check out their website. Check out all their gaming apparel. And also, come follow us, Minnesota LCS, on Twitter, on Facebook, as well as myself at MNLCS on Twitter to get all of your casting updates as well as your seedings and placement of the teams. Now, getting into this week, Game 1 is going to be St. Olaf versus University of Minnesota Duluth Chicken Chasers. Game 2 is College of St. Scholastica head-to-head. We have the Pupper Dogs against the Fighting Saints. So 2 teams from the same school playing against each other. And then the last game of the night, we have Mankato State University Mavericks against University of Minnesota Twin Cities ganked by Gophers. Now, going through each of these matches, there's actually something very exciting about each one. The first match, St. Olaf against Chicken Chasers. St. Olaf's currently in 4th place with Chicken Chasers in 5th. If Chicken Chasers win this, they win the head-to-head with St. Olaf and are tied with them in win-loss ratio. But that means that they are now 4th seed going in to the final week. So that's a big win for them. Whereas if St. Olaf win this, that'll tie them with Ram Ranch from Minnesota Duluth. Again, tied, but the head-to-head goes to St. Olaf. So St. Olaf will take 3rd place. So whichever one of these 2 teams wins moves up 1 position, or 1 seed going into week 11. Keep in mind, that's not guaranteed that will be their seeding for the final week or after the final week, but it's a good position to be in. So that's pretty cool there. Now, the second game of the evening is even more exciting. St. Scholastica Pupper Dogs against St. Scholastica Fighting Saints. The Fighting Saints sitting at 2-7. If they win this game against the Pupper Dogs, there will be a 4-way tie for the 8th place position. Now, 8th place, top 8 teams make it to playoffs. So if Fighting Saints win this, that means that the final week is going to be ridiculous. All 4 of these teams are going to be playing as hard as they possibly can to try to secure that 8th place position. The head-to-head is going to be difficult to figure out for each team. But again, all 4 of those have a chance to get in. Whereas if the Pupper Dogs win, it's almost guaranteed that they will be that 8th spot team. There is a chance still in the final week that they won't get it, but that's just more security for them. They'll tie pocket picks at 4 and 6, and those are the last 2 teams that are fighting for their spot in playoffs. So that second game is also going to be really exciting to watch. Not only that, but it's 2 friendly teams playing against each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if it's good blood or bad blood there. I'm not too familiar, but I'll be curious to see how they react. And yeah, in dummy terms, if the Pupper Dogs win that game, they'll have a 4th win, which doesn't secure their spot in playoffs, but pretty close. Sounds like they'll probably make it. With Fighting Saints win, yeah, there'll be a 4-way tie for 8th place.
That's nuts.
And that will be crazy going into the final week.
I mean, I'm not going to say I favor one of these teams to win, but that would be really fun to see.
That would be enjoyable to watch.
And now this is what we've all been waiting for. The final match of the evening, Mankato State Mavericks against Twin Cities ganked by Gophers. Both of these teams at the top of the standings, both of them 9-0. Only one of them can end this week undefeated. And the question is, which is it going to be? Both of them have proven that they are the top of the tournament.
Yeah, very excited to watch this match. It's been the hype match for weeks, and they have both made it undefeated to this point. They're both 9-0 in the standings.
We've been hyping this up since like week 7.
Yeah, neither of them lost till this point.
Exactly.
So they held their end of the deal, and now one of them has to lose tonight.
And the question is, who is it going to be? But that will be answered at 9 p.m. when that match is going. Let's focus on the first match of the evening, however. Again, St. Olaf versus Chicken Chasers. Both teams guaranteed playoff spots, so it's not a make or break for these teams, who wins, who loses. But again, it's all about the seeding. The higher the seeding, the easier it's going to be fighting in the playoff tournament. As the higher seed you are, you're going to be playing against lower seeded teams. So if Chicken Chasers can get that 4th spot, That means that they will most likely be playing against the fifth spot team, which might even be St. Olaf again in the playoff tournament. Whereas if St. Olaf win this, they're third place, so they'll be playing against the fifth place team, and so on and so forth. So again, this is important, but it's not as important as maybe the Pupper Dogs versus the Fighting Saints. Still going to be really fun to watch and really exciting to get into. So looking at these teams, we're gonna take a look at kind of what we expect to see from the pick and ban. Now, from St. Olaf, we've seen a lot coming out from Wolfie Meister. The team seems to be playing around mid lane, and this is actually common for a lot of teams so far in this tournament, playing around their mid laners. And Wolfie Meister choosing to play a lot of kind of off-meta picks. He's played Vel'Koz, he's played Annie, things of that sort. So I'm curious to see what he brings to the table, but we're actually going to see pretty soon, as we're already into the pick and ban.
We're already into the pick and ban. No more talking about Vel'Koz and Annie. We'll maybe talking about Vel'Koz and Annie here. Doing TF band away right away.
So taken away from Boosted 420. He has played that champ a lot, as well as Victor. So if they're trying to target out his champs, I wouldn't be surprised to see that coming out next. Lulu makes so much sense. You want to ban that from blue side because they get first pick, and Lulu has had the highest first pick percentage of any champ.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Jim Raynar specifically play this champ too much, but honestly, Lulu as a first pick is just... it's so pivotal. It's very, very good in lane, very, very good out of lane. It just really doesn't do anything poorly. A great first pick right now.
Yeah, again, so many supports saying it is the top of the ladder. There's the Victor ban against Boosted 420, showing that St. Olaf, their whole game plan here is ban out Boosted. If we can take away his comfort picks, they're going to be a lot more comfortable. The question is, what's their next ban? I would expect something along the lines of the Ezreal. They already took away Boosted's top two champs. Gavin97 plays a lot of Ezreal. Zyx, although, also has a lot of comfort picks. So I'm curious to see what comes next from St. Olaf, since it seems as if they're doing all these pocket picks. They're not really worried about the meta currently. They've done the research, and they're taking away from the Chicken Chasers what Chicken Chasers like to play. And I honestly don't I don't mind that strategy.
Yeah, I don't mind that strategy at all. I think when you're going for maybe... really top tier teams, it is maybe more important to just ban the very best champions. Taking rid of the meta pick, or the pocket pick champions, especially in a league like this, is extremely important. Getting off their comfort picks, especially in like the closing weeks of the season, when it's also important.
Yeah, and talking about those pocket picks, Thresh banned away from Boych Wonder. We've seen Boych Wonder play Thresh more than a couple times. And reminiscent of last split when we saw All Greek to me on the Blitzcrank, landing every single hook. Boych Wonder very similar, but Ari locked in first pick. Honestly, not very surprised. We've seen, we talked about Lulu being the #1 percentage pick for first pick, Ari #2, so it makes sense. Poppy and Caitlyn is the answer, apparently.
Yeah, Ari, not a surprise at all. Like one of the very top pick champions in this league. We see Wolfie Meister play it, as well as Boosted 420 play it, so very unsurprising first pick there, followed by the Poppy and the Caitlyn pick. Two somewhat curious picks here. Do not want to show their mid laner yet, which is interesting because they could just show it right into the Ari. They're instead exposing who they're playing for AD carry in top lane.
And Kitty Robot, we know that he likes to play tanks, but he also has been playing a lot of carry top laners, known more for a Scion pick. Also, he's played a couple Shen games, a Maokai game here and there, but recently he's been playing the Camille, he's been playing the Renekton, so it's interesting return to form for Kitty Robot, picking that tank instead, and it's answered with a Darius. Right now, the Faker's pocket pick. We're talking about how much these teams like those pocket picks. Right now has played so many Darius games, and it's honestly dragged a lot of bans from other teams playing against them, so I got to credit him. He gets the champion that he likes to play, as well as Warwick for the Flube.
Yeah. We've seen him play Darius before, obviously very strong in the champion. He's playing it into Poppy. He already knows that. He thinks he has a positive matchup there. I expected that he would have a great early game against the Poppy, probably being able to out-trade him early. They followed up with the Warwick pick.
Who, honestly, DeFlube has been playing almost exclusively throughout the tournament. He's played Amumu, I believe, the most, and then Warwick second most. So he really likes those engaged junglers that can jump in from a distance and lock down targets with CC. And we're seeing a Kindred hover with the Aatrox.
I kind of doubt those two are getting.
I have talked with some supports from Minnesota LCS, and some believe Aatrox is a support. They think he can work.
Is Jim Raynar one of those?
I can't tell you. I cannot confirm or deny. I haven't talked with him specifically. I would be very surprised to see this bot lane.
If this was their bot lane, that would be just cheap.
And we saw Timo playing on Tuesday. Again, towards the end of this tournament, some of these teams that have their playoff positions locked in, they don't mind as much, but it's changed to something a little more meta. Soraka Kog'Maw.
Something we kind of come to expect. We've seen Kog'Maw a few times in this league to honestly great success. He's very, very strong, scales extremely well. Soraka is somewhat of an interesting choice to pick with him, but able to heal him up and give him slightly boosted stats, which is what you want on the Kog'Maw. And looks like they may be answering it with a Sona.
Ooh. I like the Sona pick, not into Soraka, though. I've been playing a lot of Sona personally. I think she's in a good place in the meta, but the matchup into Soraka is a little difficult. Something that Alistar might do slightly better, but keep in mind those tanky supports that don't have any range can really get bullied out by something like a Soraka in the early game. It is locked in, though. Boych Wonder's got to worry about how he's going to handle laning phase. Keep in mind he does have Caitlyn, though. I think this is a good combo. Caitlyn's able to provide that range where Alistar can't, and the initiation potential from the Alistar plus the Yasuo combo is going to be a little ridiculous.
Yeah, great initiation coming from this side. They also have the Poppy as well as the Elise with the Cocoon, the Yasuo's Tornado. Alistar's just walking CC. So lots of great initiation.
Not quite Nautilus, but almost.
Lots of great initiation coming from them.
Yeah, I'm definitely... Their team fight is going to be a little ridiculous if they can layer the CC. If they have Boych Wonder go in and boosted 420 follow up with the ultimate after, Alistar's hopefully able to knock up at least 2 or 3 members of St. Olaf. I'm really excited to see what they're able to do with that. And keep in mind, again, the Elise for the pick potential, Poppy for kind of the bodyguard for Caitlyn. He's going to keep Ahri off, keep Warwick off, so they can't really dash onto Gavin 97, which is really Ahri's target. Ahri's a pick centered champ. She's trying to throw out that charm, grab anybody she can. If she can grab a squishy like the Caitlyn, like the Yasuo, that's going to be really good. But it's going to be difficult because, again, Yasuo with the wind wall, if Kitty Robot's standing on top of Caitlyn, you can't really do anything about that. So I'm curious to see what Wolfie Meister is able to do in this gameplay in the Ahri.
Yeah, absolutely. And one weakness that I would like to point out from this Engage Heavy comp, it is very, very AD-centric. Lots of the damage wanting to come from this Yasuo and this Caitlyn. They'll have good early AP from the Elise, but she does drop off very hard. And after that, their ability power damage just isn't really there. So we're looking for the Warwick as well as the Darius, maybe to build into some magic resist items.
And this is one of those moments where perhaps the Kog'Maw, you want to get the attack speed boots, but maybe you get Ninja Tabby, like something like that, just so you can survive a little longer. Ideally, it's not great on the champion. It's all about the attack speed, just spitting out auto attacks as fast as possible. But again, when it is such an AD-centric and also attack damage or auto attack damage-centric team, maybe something like that can work out. But keep in mind, you do have the Soraka to kind of mitigate that damage.
And Ninja Tabby is just so gold efficient right now. Honestly, just a great item. Any team that is very AD heavy, if your champion wants to build tier 2 boots, which every champion wants to build tier 2 boots, Ninja Tabbies is a great option.
That's a secret strat, standing viewers. Build tier 2 boots.
It's really good. It's really good.
It's worth it. I promise you. Maybe not Mobius. I don't know how many shams buy Mobius anymore. Okay, but getting into, again, these matchups, we talked a lot about Chicken Chasers, how much I like their comp. Maybe it's a little AD heavy. They have the Elise for that early game AP. Later in the game, she's going to be doing a little less. But we've consistently seen in this tournament, whoever drafts for the early game is typically going to win. So who do you think had the better overall pick and ban?
I'm going to go with the Engage AD heavy comp. I do like this comp a little bit better. I did point out the big weakness from it, I think, but honestly, such great engage, such great team fighting, great early game from the Elise, super aggressive early jungler. The Caitlyn, really great at all points throughout the game. I like this team a little bit better.
Yeah, the only thing I will give to the side of Chicken Chase, or not the only thing. I agree with everything you said, but the biggest reason that I'm going to give them my seal of approval is the summoner spell choice from these champions. Kitty Robot taking Teleport, whereas Right Not a Faker taking Ghost. That means that he's going to try to win the lane and try to maybe snowball that lane. I like that summoner spell on Darius if that's your intention, if you're not against a Poppy. That's going to be a champion that's just slightly too hard, in my opinion, to burst down and to chase down, because all Poppy has to do is wind up that ultimate and your Ghost is burned for no reason.
Yeah, I think Right Now the Faker really wants to be looking to get in here pre-6, maybe even pre-back. version. But once the Poppy backs, get some kind of tanky stats, has ultimate, it's just going to be so hard to get onto her.
Yeah, so that's the key. Right now, has got to win this lane quickly. But we have seen him do that in the past. So perhaps it's not too big of a task for him to perform.
Yeah,
either
certainly
way,
possible. Maybe DeFlube will visit up there as well.
True. The jungle pressure on the top side between Right Nut and DeFlube has been seen throughout the tournament. They definitely like to communicate together and move around the map together. But getting into this match, we have St. Olaf defending their 4th seed spot right now. Actually trying to get into that 3rd seed with Right Nut a Faker top lane, DeFlube in the jungle, Wolfie Meister mid lane, Wexler and Jim Raynor on the bot lane. I believe actually Wexler might be a sub or perhaps a name change. And then on the side of the University of Minnesota Duluth Chicken Chasers, Kitty Robot top lane, Zyax in the jungle, boosted 420, often living up to his name, in the mid lane with Gavin 97 and the Boych Wonder on the bot side. Talking about, again, the average rank of these players, we're seeing a lot of diamonds on the side of Chicken Chasers. Is this something that you expect to have an impact on the game? We see 4 plats and a gold for St. Olaf. Yes, they are higher seeded, but these two teams have not played against each other yet.
Yeah, it's certainly, I mean, in my head, it certainly does matter. However, when you're on the Rift, it's no holds barred. Absolutely. I mean, the just individual skill of players definitely does matter when you're playing the game. However, other things really do go into it. Macro plays. Can we push this objective? Can we not push this objective? Can we go for this kill? Can we not go for this kill? So there are a lot of additional things that go into the game. Team communication, aside from just individual player skill. So it'll be interesting to see how these two match up.
Yeah, one thing to note of interest, I honestly am not up to date with my Warwick meta. I'm sorry, I'm a play-by-play guy. This is what I do. I ask questions. I saw that DeFlube took Fervor of Battle on the Warwick. Is that something that you think is common right now?
It makes sense to me. Not an enormous Warwick player myself either, but yeah, I think if you're looking for that early damage or just overall more damage in general, Fervor on Warwick does make some sort.
Yeah, I don't mind the pick. It's just something that's interesting to note, as well as the choice of the Runeborn Pact on Alistair Boych Wonder. That's the reason that we have seen some more play of these tanky initiating supports. Is because of that new rune, you keep your AD carry alive just a little longer because they get some bonus lifesteal whenever you land any kind of ability on the enemy team. And we're actually seeing a slight cheese here. Jim Raynor spotting out Boych Wonder. Can they get a ward for it? Oh, not quite.
Not quite. And their plans are foiled there as long as DeFlube doesn't get caught out. And it looks like he will not. But good warding by Jim Raynor and Wexler here.
And I'm actually noticing something now that I hadn't seen before, but is really interesting. Wexler taking barrier on Kog'Maw, whereas Jim Raynor heal on Soraka. It's actually kind of an interesting thing because if you think about it, Soraka's going to want to buy Redemption. She's going to want to buy maybe an Ardent Censored for the Kog'Maw because, again, giving him that on-hit damage is so strong and the extra attack speed from Ardent Censor. And those increase your heal. So having the heal summoner spell will get bonus healing because of those items. It's an interesting thing. I haven't seen it before. And also, let's just give a shout out. Pugma being played for the first time.
Yeah, Pugma, that skin looks awesome. But yeah, originally when I saw the barrier on the Kog'Maw, I kind of thought that it might actually just be a mistake. But then I see the heal on Soraka, and it's obviously intentional. This is something that they want to try to do. Something that I've not experienced with or even seen before, so I'm very curious to see how this works out for them into the more traditional spells of Boych Wonder and Gavin 97 with the heal and the ignite.
I do like it, though. Again, I think there are reasons why it could make sense, but we'll see. Well, without an exhaust against the likes of the Yasuo, that could really hurt the later game team fights. The reason to take exhaust is helpful in lane, yes, but it's so strong against those burst champions like Yasuo. In his ultimate, you drop the exhaust down and suddenly you're not even afraid of him at that moment. He does so little damage. So without that, I'm curious to see how they're going to deal with that Yasuo.
Yeah, no exhaust coming from either team, which is actually a little bit curious. Yeah, especially against a champion like the Yasuo, something that we would traditionally see, but we are going for these unique summoner spells in the bottom lane.
I like Ignite on Alistair because the grievous wounds that it inflicts means that if he drops it on the Kog'Maw, Soraka is not going to be able to heal nearly as much. and that's just better for their all-in potential, which is what they want to do. When you're playing into a Soraka, either you just accept that it's a farm lane or you have to all-in. So if Zyx comes bot, they just burn every summoner spell that they have and try to get a kill. But Zyx is actually on the top lane, going on Right Nut of Faker, getting some damage, as Right Nut is getting a slight CS advantage over Kitty Robot, but the Flube is up there as well. Heroic Charge into the wall means that he's stunned up, but they have the damage on the side of St. Olaf. Kitty Robot going down! Flashes away, but the Flube follows him, and first blood, jungler of St. Olaf.
Yeah, at the beginning of that play, it didn't really look like Kitty Robot and Zyx were maybe not at the same page on that initial gank, and then the Flube shows up, and they're just kind of jumbled all over the place, and it really not well played by the Poppy and the Elise there, but well played by the Flube right not getting that kill. First blood.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that as the Warwick, you want to use that Q right away to get in there, but wise for him to wait. He predicted when Kitty Robot was going to use that flash and actually followed him through, so that is what secured the kill. Really well played mechanically by the Flube there.
Yeah, excellent work by the Flube. Securing
and Ghost. Ghost was burned by Right Nut. That's what the Ghost is for.
See the double Ghost combo of the jungler and the top laner just secures first blood every time. That's why they went for it.
Exactly, yeah. Right Nut of Faker. Proven me wrong since 2017. And a slight aggression. This is what Caitlyn does to every lane. She was actually pushed into hers for a bit there, but now pushing back. This is what the champ does well, and this is what Kog'Maw can actually struggle with. Farming under turret as Kog'Maw can be a little difficult. You don't have those abilities necessarily that help you clear, such as you would with a Jhin or an Ezreal, where it's a little easier to clear under your own turret.
Yeah, and just traditionally, Caitlyn being pretty aggressive early laner, has the highest range in the game, can really get on, like, look at how far away that auto attack was. Whereas Kog'Maw, pretty low range, not very strong in the early levels, just scales very, very well. So Caitlyn should have the advantage here early in the lane.
Yeah, and this is the only lane that's actually going incredibly well for the side of Chicken Chasers. Gavin97 having a sizable CS advantage, being a full wave ahead of Wexler, and making it so it's, even though first blood was given to the side of St. Olaf, they haven't really been able to snowball it that much. DeFlube got that kill and still has not backed. Jess does finally. We'll see what he can do with it. Boosted actually jumping onto Wolfiemeister, getting up close and personal. As again, it's just a farm lane on the bot side. This is the frustration of playing against a Soraka, but when you're playing against a Kog'Maw, you can't afford to let him get into the late game. You gotta make some kind of move on this. Maybe not this early, but at some point I would expect to see Zyx roam down bot because they can't let this bot lane continue to be a farm lane. It's definitely going to go in the favor of Kog'Maw.
Yeah, absolutely. As this goes later and later, if Kog'Maw continues to stay this close, yeah, he's down 8-9 farm right now. But if he's down 8-9 farm and, 25 minutes, he's going to be very, very strong compared to the Caitlyn. So some amount of help coming up for, and this is a very gankable lane, the Kog'Maw and the Soraka. Don't have much mobility, easy to get away, as long as you can get on the Soraka so he doesn't heal the Kog'Maw.
Watching that skin walk around, it's just a treat.
Yeah, it really is. He just looks so funny up there.
We don't have the cowbell Alistair this time.
Oh, that would be... Can we see Kog'Maw, Cow Alistair combo?
On the same side.
I would be so happy.
That would be amazing. Make it happen, Minnesota LCS. It's okay. You know what? At least we got one of them. We got a counter blessing.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
We got to see Kyle Alistair skin last week, and that was also a treat.
As we did finally decide, it was Alistair in drag is the official name of the skin. Full wearing a cow outfit. And now it's, again, a pretty slow-moving start to this game. Already 7 minutes in, 1 kill happened top lane. But other than that, both junglers seem more intent to just farm their own jungle, just kind of go towards that level 6. And then I expect to see them approaching these lanes a little more. DeFlube hitting that level 6 power spike is going to be really strong. I expect to see him, again, rotating towards that top lane, trying to get right out of Faker, even further ahead than he already is. Coming back with 2 Doran's Blades. It's an interesting build there, but so much life sustain.
Yeah, DeFlube is the first non-solo laner to hit 6. And as we start to see 6 is coming up across the board, probably we'll see a little bit more action here. And boosted 420 and Zyx going for a cheeky little Infernal Dragon here, and it looks like DeFlube has no idea.
And this is actually a really smart play. Boosted's able to push in his lane against Wolfmeister and immediately roams to drag. They had the vision around. They saw that the Flu wasn't in the area. The only thing is they didn't have a ward directly over the Dragon Pit, so it might have been able to get spotted out by St. Olaf, but in the end it is first Dragon over to the side of Chicken Chasers. They're behind 800 gold, approaching 1,000 just from the farm and that solo kill going over, but picking up the Drag is definitely going to help that.
Yeah, absolutely. Infernal Drake, often thought of as the best Drake, the most coveted Drake in the Dragon arsenal. And yeah, absolutely scales well into the late game. Great for team fighting and will help make this gold deficit not feel like much at all.
And as a bot lane combo, you and I both know that Ocean Drake is actually the strongest.
Ocean Drake is great early game. I love getting Ocean Drake as long as it's the first one you get.
In the 2v2 in lane, it is so nice.
It is very helpful.
Especially as a Sona, something a little mana hungry. But Infernal Drake, going to make the team fight so much stronger for the side here of the Chicken Chasers. But the thing that will make it harder for them in these team fights is the gold differential, specifically for Right Nut already getting another back, having the Phage completed, and Kitty Robot seems to have only had one chance to back, being with Boots and Corrupting Potion. If he doesn't back, now it's going to be difficult for him in lane. He is back
right now, yeah.
And in the meantime, DeFlub's on the bot side, jumping onto Gavin97. The silence field is out, but TP coming in from Kitty Robot. Heroic charge into the wall for Jim Raynor. Flash away from the Soraka. Will she actually go down? Pops the ultimate to keep herself alive, and Kitty Robot decides to not knock away any members. Might have liked him to shoot it onto Wexler or DeFlub, but instead it goes a little wide, threading the needle, and he's going to have to back, losing a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and this is very sad for Kitty Robot right now. He loses his teleport. He has to back from the bottom lane, as the Darius is just pounding on his turret, continuing to lose waves when he's already 20 farm behind, is not going to be able to TP back to that lane, loses a lot of experience and a lot of minions.
And this is where I was saying I liked the comp from Chicken Chasers because of the teleport, but if you don't pull off the teleport play correctly, then it's really just a wasted summoner spell, and Right Now to Faker with the Ghost available is going to be a monster, actually jumping on a boost at 420 here. If he had popped the ultimate, it might have been a death sentence.
Even picking up the flash on boosted 420 here. Right now, Faker getting a lot for that teleport from Kitty Robot.
And we saw Booster was able to push into against Wolfmeister, go to drag. Well, now the wave is pushed into him. And Blue Buff is actually going to go over to Wolfmeister, his lane opponent. So this is looking better and better for St. Olaf as the game goes on.
Now the Poppy does have the Balmy Cinder, so it will be harder for Right Now to win these trades. And this trade...
Oh, the ultimate is in. Flash wave from Kitty Robot. One more auto attack means a bleed might get the kill. It does. Right Nut.
Wow. Very calculated play by Right Nut there. Nice work. Flashes in, gets the bleed and the kill onto Poppy. And Wolfmeister sees the game coming and gets out.
Zayek's trying to make some kind of play in the mid lane to answer that solo kill top. But this is what we were talking about. Not only is Right Nut ahead in farm, but now he's able to win the 1v1 because of the Ghost Summoner spell. He was so confident. He saw that Kitty Robot use that ultimate on the bottom side with no Keeper's Verdict available. It was an easy dive for him. Still calculated, though. It was very well played. That last auto attack just getting him the kill. But now he's going to come back just a monster.
Yeah, and no flashes for either solo laners from the side of UMD, so... Easy ganks maybe here for DeFlub. He can look to go top or mid, has a wide array of options for a little while here while these flashes are still down.
Yeah, and with that Infinite Duress ultimate, he can jump in from quite a distance as long as his lanes are putting in the pressure. The difficulty is that his lanes alone aren't really getting the lane opponents that low on health. Top lane, Right Now to Faker, being able to burst down Kitty Robot, but in the mid lane, boosted 420, staying pretty healthy. So yes, DeFlub can still make an impact, but that ultimate gains jump distance the lower health the person he is jumping onto has. He hasn't really had that option yet, though.
Yeah, this game as a whole still has felt very safe to me from both sides. Seems like there's very little trading going on in the lanes.
Oh, boosting might be going all in onto Wolfmeister, wind walling.
Just as I say, that boost 420 tries to go for something juicy there, but not too much accomplished there for either side, so... For the most part, there hasn't been a great amount of trading going on in these lanes. Just a couple of ganks from both junglers. Pretty tame so far in this one.
And so much vision control battles happening in this bot lane duo. Wexler, Jim constantly fighting to get a ward in that tri-bush and just can't keep one there. But DeFlube does drop one, which means that Boych Wonder and Gavin97 see that he is on the bottom side. They can act a little defensive. Boy, saying, this is just so frustrating.
Yeah, Boych and Gavin97 really look like they do want to try to get in there. And Wexler and Jim Raynor are playing this very safe, just farming it out, saying, hey, Kog'Maw will get strong if you just let us do this.
And this is why you need Xyx to go on the bot side, which he is now. They might have an option to dive this turret. Keep in mind, if Alistar is tanking, he pops his ultimate. That gives him 50% reduce, or rather, 50% at the first level of the ultimate from Unbreakable Will. He's going to take very little damage from that turret, ensuring that the dive might work. Kitty Robot, in the meantime, sparring with Right Nut or Faker on the top side. This might be another kill as Right Nut is getting the ultimate, but there is the Keeper's Verdict. Ooh, knocks him over the wall.
Nice Keeper's Verdicts there coming in from Kitty Robot. Getting out the Ghost Summoner spell as well as Right Nut or Faker.
Boosted 420 and Wolfie Meister are both roaming bot. There's a Cocoon on to Jim Raynor. There's the kick up from the Alistar, and the ultimate from Boosted 420 ensures a kill. Finally responded from the side of Chicken Chasers, but there's the jump in from the Flube ultimate from Alistar, means that he will survive this Spirit away, but they're diving under turret. Boosted 420 gets the kill. Heal almost keeps him alive, but barely not, and now Gavin's caught out. A double kill going over to Wolfie Meister, and in the end, it's a 2 for 3 trade.
And Wolfie Meister coming in there very
late. And Kitty Robot, is he gonna live? Oh! The last tick of the bleed takes him out, and Right Now with a second solo kill.
And it looked so good there for UMD at the beginning of that play. They picked up 2 kills pretty frequently. And if they would have just backed off and really not tried to go for any more, I think that play could have turned out okay for them. But then the Ahri shows up late, picks up a couple kills. Darius gets another solo kill on the Poppy in the top lane. Ends up being a 4 for 2.
And first turret gold solo.
First turret solo gold going over the Darius. So far ahead of this Poppy right now. This Darius is extremely strong.
And talking about that bot lane, a lot of the reason that went so bad is the Boych Wonder stopped tanking turret. Boosted took 2 shots from it, which ensured his death. If Boych Wonder had stayed under for at least 1 more turret shot, Boosted might have made it out of there. And that definitely could have turned around the fight against Wolfie Meister. Also, Boosted popping the ultimate, popping that last breath onto Jim Raynor when maybe it wasn't necessary, but it did ensure the kill. In the end, we did see it went in the side of St. Olaf, but this is going to be potentially second Drake over to Chicken Chaser. St. Olaf does not want to give it up right now, though. The Flube is there. Is it going to be the 50-50 smite? Red team does get it. Xyx with the completed smite goes down in the meantime. And a knockout from Boych Wonder. The deletion onto Jim Raynor. Teleport completes from Kitty Robot. He can flash the wall. He does. Trying to get onto Wolfie Meister. Charm lands into Flube and Wexler are both there as well. Heroic Charge and Steadfast Presence mean that they can't jump out, but he's taking damage from Wexler. Goes down in a 2-for-1 trade again. They're just getting over-eager in these fights.
And now the Darius is here.
Ooh, Right Now to Faker on the bot side. The Flube jumps in. Boosted going down as well. So much damage being put in from the side of St. Olaf. They pick up 1 more kill. Boych Wonder just trying to keep Gavin alive. Can he do it, though? The fear is there. The ultimate's out. A double kill goes to Right Now to Faker.
And Right Now follows up on that roam. He sees the TP. The wave's in a fine place for him. This is a free roam for him. He comes on, picks up 2 more kills for himself. And another play for the side of UMD that looked great at the beginning. They get a kill plus the Mountain Drake. Just goes sour because they get too aggressive and they just try to get too much.
Ooh, Right Now to Faker is so confident. Tanking turret shots. Doesn't even mind picking up yet another kill. And this game is not looking great for Chicken Chasers. They were in a comfortable spot, but now it's just opened up wide for St. Olaf.
Yeah, as we were saying, they have made a couple nice proactive plays to try to get back in this game, but they just take it too far. They just cannot settle for their small win, and they try to get something bigger, and it goes very sour for them.
Yeah, and a lot of these teleport plays, we've seen 2 now from Kitty Robot fail. He teleports into Dragon Pit and then tries to flash over the wall of Dragon Pit to make some kind of play. And you gotta just accept that you TP'd down, it was a mistake, just walk back top lane, or walk mid, push that out, do something else, because he tried to force something on the bot side, took too many turret shots and died in the meantime. So those are the types of plays that Kitty Robot, yes, you have the teleport advantage, but again, you gotta know when to use it.
And one slight bonus from all of this hectic play that has been going on here, it is 11-3 and a 5k deficit for the side of UMD. They do have that Mountain and that Infernal. They will have that slight team boost stat increase as well as more damage to objectives, so they may be able to push these objectives a little bit faster, try to get some of these back that they have lost 2-0 in turrets.
Yeah, and with the Caitlyn, that Mountain Drake and Infernal is going to be really strong against those turrets. Caitlyn's so strong at sieging that maybe this is actually not the end of the world for Chicken Chasers. Yes, they are behind 2 turrets. Yes, they're behind so much gold, but those dragons will definitely help mitigate some of that. Keep in mind, though, Kog'Maw himself can destroy turrets so quickly, so it's almost a wash, I would say, but it is not the end of the world as Boosted dodging away from the Floob, ulting in, but the charm lands, and Boosted goes down right into Faker. Unstoppable.
Unstoppable on this Darius. A nice 3-man collapse there ensures the death of Boosted 420. Boosted 420 going down for the 3rd time of the game. I kind of lost my train of thought. I had to go something else.
It's okay. It happens.
But they do pick up the mid tower as well. So another nice roam there from multiple members. The Floob comes down right nuts like, hey, I got my lane pushed in again. I can also come down to the mid lane, make a nice play and boost 420 and pick up the mid tower. Now 3 turrets ahead.
And talking about how well bot lane was going originally for Gavin97 being so far ahead in lane in the farm, yes, they were giving a lot of free farm to Wexler in the sense that they couldn't really make those plays. And I think that a lot of this is they were desperate. They thought, we can't keep letting Kog'Maw scale. We got to shut him down early. Well, now he's got 2 kills and 4 assists. Yes, he's still behind in farm, but this is not how you shut down a Kog'Maw.
Yeah. The gold for this team is really in the places they want it to be. 2-0-4 on the Kog'Maw, 4-0-4 on this Ahri, 5-0-2 on the Darius. All their carries in very good positions to carry the game.
And talking about how the AD comp is going to hurt later in the game, right now to Faker, going towards that full armor build as he's jumping immediately onto Kitty Robot, and actually Keeper's Verdict fails.
That was a lot of damage coming out from Darius in a short amount of time.
I was expecting Keeper's Verdict to keep Kitty Robot alive, but right out of Faker, able to, I believe he pulled it in. I'm actually confused what happened there, but in the meantime, Zykes getting engaged on by the Floob, giving another kill to Wolfie Meister, and they do not look to end it now. There's the wind wall, which might stop the assault of St. Olaf, but does not stop the siege. They want this mid turret.
Yeah, and St. Olaf continuing to push their advantages as Darius just picks up the tower in the top lane. He can continue to push that out if he wants to. They're going to have to send the Yasuo up there. It's going to be very hard to answer this Darius in the side lane.
Yeah, and again, how are you going to stop this when everybody on your team does AD except for the Elise, who's 1-4 and building tanky? I mean, having the Runic Echoes jungle item gives a slight AP bonus, but Elise definitely does not perform well as an AP carry. You want to transition to that more tanky build later in the game. So right now to Faker, having Deadman's play completed as well as Warden's Mail, I'm not quite sure what that's going to build into now. He actually has some options there, but what I would assume is coming is maybe even something like the Frozen Heart.
And the Ninja Tabbies, yeah, possibly the Frozen Heart coming out here. He's just so far ahead. How are you going to answer this guy in a side lane? Are you going to send... I don't even know if you could send 2 members to stop him right now, so it's going to be very difficult. They have 4 people pushing on the mid, right nuts, either in the top or the bot lane, just pushing in that. It's going to be very difficult to stop the sieging coming here from Sonoma.
These are the questions that we always ask when we see these teams in Minnesota LCS play. Teams can get ahead, but sometimes they struggle to end these games quickly. Now, this is the point where St. Olaf, they have such a huge lead that they can really do whatever they want. What are they going to choose to do that is the most efficient? To them, it's going for Dragon.
The first step is going for the Cloud Drake, a pretty risk-free objective, honestly. Looks like they're just going to be able to pick this up for free. Zyx is going to try to get a little bit of counter-jungling in here, try to push some kind of advantage.
Oh, flash in from right nut, tries to land that pull. The Ghost is popped, though, and the Floob goes a little wide. Jumping on to Boosted, the fear is there, and Boosted's got to be going down. Can he get away? No flash available anymore. The bleed might be enough. It is right now with his 3rd kill of the game with that bleed.
And they do pick up a kill.
Oh, they don't want it to be over. Boych Wonder might be the next one to go down. Able to walk away. That's a tanky kill.
They can go for the Baron here, and it looks like that might be what they're trying to do. It is a 22-minute Baron, very early, but boosted 420 is out for another 23 seconds, and they're just so far ahead.
And no one from Chicken Chasers can answer this. I mean, Zyx just backed. What's Boych Wonder going to do? Try to steal this while Wolfie Meister is just zoning him off.
If Zyx can get there in time, he should go for the steal. I don't know if he'll be able to make it there.
No way. Baron goes down to St. Olaf.
Look like it. St. Olaf secures a 22-minute and 30-second Baron, and they are now 8K up in gold, looking very good for the side of St. Olaf.
Yeah, and this is that point. What can Chicken Chasers do to get in? And the answer every time I ask this question when you're this far behind is try to prolong the game as long as you possibly can. You have 2 drags that scale incredibly well into the late game. You just got to get to that late game, but the difficulty again is in that late game, how are you going to kill Right Nut? How are you going to deal with Wexler's damage?
Yeah, it's going to be extremely difficult, especially when we talked about they are very, very AD heavy. You have this Darius that is building pretty much full armor after the cleaver. He's going to be impossible to kill. You now have a Warwick, which has Randuin's Omen. It's going to be so difficult for them to cut through these guys, and they're really going to have to last another 20 more minutes without losing much else to really have a shot into this game.
Yeah, and the question is, typically when you're against a team that has so much armor, a really good item to pick up being Black Cleaver, but no one on the side of Chicken Chasers really naturally built into that. It's going to be a little difficult for them to deal, which is how tanky the Floob and Right Nut are going to be as they're just pounding this tower. Keeper's Verdict knocks away Right Nut. They might try to go on to boost it. Can they knock him into the wall? There's the fear onto 2 members. Wolfie Meister, in the meantime, forces Flash away from Zayax, almost landing the charm. And again, this is just looking really, really bad for the side of Chicken Chasers. They cannot stop this siege.
They're going to do their best. Caitlyn, one of the best siege stoppers in the game, so that is a slight bonus there for them. They can try to do some work with those straps, try to stop them from getting on these towers. But Darius and the Floob continuing to pressure the spot side.
Hero charge into the wall. There's the knockup, but the Floob jumping in, trying to get the damage. They're undeterred. They don't care as they take down not 1, but 2, because the team picks up 1 in the mid lane. Bot turret goes down. Mid turret goes down. Everything's falling for the side of Chicken Chasers. And a flash away from Kitty Robot. Wise. That was a wise choice.
And St. Olaf wins a 2v2 under tower, and the bot lane picks up the tower and wins a 3v3 under tower in the mid lane and picks up the tower. So that just really goes to show how far ahead they are in this game. Hungry there.
And this is why you don't... Well, first of all, the drafting choice questionable from the side of Chicken Chasers. I liked what they were able to do for the team fight. Again, the AD center, when there's a Darius this far ahead, it's just not going to work. But Right Nut, this is why he likes to play Darius. I mean, he's so strong on this champ. He understands the matchup. He's able to get in onto Kitty Robot. We were talking about how before level 6 it's hard for the Kitty Robot. Post level 6 it's easier, but Right Nut got his lead so quickly.
Yeah, Right Nut just really got too far ahead. If you get that far ahead, there comes a point that, yeah, Poppy's just not going to be able to deal with this Darius because he's just too fed. And that's kind of what happened. I mean, he's 7-0-3 in this game right now on the Darius with a slight farm advantage as well over the Poppy, just really strong.
Yeah, St. Olaf proving that they deserve that 3rd seed position. This will tie them with Duluth Ram Ranch. But then the head-to-head puts St. Olaf ahead, making them 3rd spot going into the 11th week. Again, if they would get this win, being 12K ahead, it's going to be a little difficult for them to throw that.
Yeah, St. Olaf would probably have to do something catastrophic. A catastrophic throw would have to happen. And for the side of UMD, they're going to have to look for some sort of pick. They do have that great engage, which we had talked about multiple times during Champ Select, and that is still in their kit. They still can, you know, pick up a pick in a bush, maybe try to get something, try to win a team fight 5v4, something like that.
But
the engage is just very strong.
Who are you going to engage on, though? That's the issue. I mean, Wolfie Meister are going to be able to dash away. They got to get onto Wexler or Jim, but they're just never close enough.
Yeah, it's going to need to take a mistake from the... It's going to be, oh, Jim Raynor is for some reason in this spot that we can just pick him up right now so easily. But
and
the chances that happens...
Ooh, the jumping from the Floob. He's able to get the Fear. Boych Wonder taking so much damage. He goes down. Right Nut goes legendary, as the Redemption does not do much to heal them. Right Nut does not want to give this up. He keeps going in. Wolfie Meister picking up another kill. And this team fight is going so south for the side of Chicken Chasers. Right Nut taking both Nexus turrets. Doesn't even care. Actually, finally goes down. First death of the game. And this might be game, as only Boosted and Gavin are left up. Super minions coming in. Baron empowered minions are no longer on the table for St. Olaf, but they do not care. They're pushing the Nexus.
And Right Nut just brute forcing his way through that team fight, saying, we are starting this team fight right now, and I will take 1,000,000 tower shots, and it's not going to matter. And they do win the...
Oh, Wexler! Taking a lot of damage. There's a Caitlyn ultimate. Gavin blocks it.
This is a nice little defense coming here.
And Chicken Chasers might actually defend the Nexus to Floop, picking up another kill on his way out, but can he get out? He does. Ignite does not pick up the kill, but Zyx does not want to stop the chase. Unfortunately, they have to. They defend the Nexus, but with no Nexus turrets left, what can they do to stop St. Olaf's next push?
That was a nice little base defense there. It was about the best they could do in that situation. That was the 2v4 at the end there. Gavin97 playing that very well, getting a ton of damage off on that Kog'Maw. It's going to be very difficult to defend this next push, especially with the right nut being in the fight again without 2 towers barreling down on him the entire time.
Yeah, Randuin's Omen, Dead Man's Plate, Ninja Tabi. This man is just unkillable from these damage dealers of Caitlyn and Yasuo. He did die, but it was to turrets. Let's be honest. Turrets killed him. He could have walked away. He was going a little hyphy, and the game didn't end. So the question is, what do they do next?
Caitlyn does pick up the 3rd item, Last Whisper, to try to compensate for this as best she can.
Ooh, and red buff still going over to right nut.
Just cannot contest that. Gavin97 does best he can. But, yeah, right nut just... He's too strong. It's very hard to contest anything. Anywhere that he is, he always has control.
And again, the only saving grace from the side of Chicken Chasers being this bot lane. Gavin and Boych Wonder, stat-wise, not that bad. I mean, Gavin's doing a really good job of kiting. I mean, putting out the damage where he needs to. He's not getting the kills, but that's because they keep losing these team fights. And the question is, what can they do for this next team fight? It looks like St. Olaf is actually pressuring this top turret instead of following the supers mid into the Nexus. Boych Wonder, this is the initiation to let the knock right nut away. This might be how they win the fight. Redemption goes down, but it does not. Save boosted, and things are going south for the side of Chicken Chasers. They're falling left and right as Right Nut makes his way back in. A double kill to Wolfiemeister. 4 down for Chicken Chasers, and game goes to St. Olaf.
And that is the game for St. Olaf. Right Nut getting a little bit too difficult to handle there, as well as the Ahri very, very strong at the end of the Wolfiemeister. And that does secure them the 3rd seed going into the final week of the playoffs.
So it doesn't secure the 3rd seed for playoffs, but again,
going into the final week, prior to
exactly what you said. Into the final week, this is a very strong position for them to be. St. Olaf proving that they can kick it with the top dogs.
they can kick it with the top dogs.
Yeah, they can do it. And speaking of dogs, Wexler, who let the dogs out? 3-1-9 on Kog'Maw, but look at the damage he's able to put out, even though he was behind in farm, only getting beaten out by that mid lane Ahri. And Wolfiemeister showing up huge here. Honestly, really well played by the side of St. Olaf. Not only did they get ahead, but they showed that they know what to do with that lead.
And Ahri just time and time again has shown to be so strong in the Minnesota LCS. Just when is this champion going to start getting banned away? It just feels like it wins every time.
Yeah, people choose to kind of... It seems as if teams are choosing to take away pocket picks in the mid lane, like the TF, like the Victor, but you leave up Ahri, you leave up Orianna, 2 very popular mid laners right now that are very strong, and we're seeing a lot of them play to very, very high success. Talking about this game a little more, though, who do you think, in your opinion, Money Trees, deserves that player of the game status? I can think of 2 that come to mind immediately, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the matter.
Well, we saw Wolfiemeister with the damage and obviously played really well, but I'm going to give it to Right Nut just because I think he's the one that really catapulted their lead. He's the one that he's where their lead started, and he's where their lead snowballed, and he was the reason why they were able to get so far ahead. And
yeah, I definitely got to give it to Right Nut as well, pulling off multiple 1v1s against Kitty Robot as that Poppy. And we're talking about if he's able to snowball, the Ghost works, but after level 6, it doesn't work as well. Well, there was only one time that Kitty Robot was actually able to land Keeper's Verdict on him. So Right Nut a Faker absolutely showing up huge here. I will say Kitty Robot made 2 very questionable teleport plays earlier in the game, which just furthered Right Nut's lead, especially in the CS. So that definitely helped him out. Those were kind of freebies for him. But in the end, he definitely capitalized on that lead. So I got to give it to Right Nut. Wolfiemeister had a fantastic game as well, though. So good job. Well played from St. Olaf. Well played from Chicken Chasers as well from some of their players. Gavin97 showing up pretty well here, but not enough to take that game. We're going to take a short break, however, and then come back for more action with our second game of the evening, College of St. Scholastica Pupper Dogs against College of St. Scholastica Fighting Saints. The 2 teams from the same school going at each other. Just see, is it going to be a four-way tie for that final coveted playoff position? So don't go anywhere, and we will be right back. We are back with Game 2, Week 10, Day 2, Minnesota LCS, Thursday, April 6th. Pupper Dogs versus Fighting Saints, College of St. Scholastic grudge match. Both teams from the same school, trying to prove who's the better team. As currently in the standings, Pupper Dogs 3-6, Fighting Saints 2-7. Again, if Fighting Saints win this match, they will be tied not only with Pupper Dogs, but with Winona and St. Cloud as well. All four tied for the 8th place position in playoffs. This is a huge victory for Fighting Saints if they can get it, because it means that they have a chance. They have a chance to get into the playoffs, whereas if Pupper Dogs win this, it's almost guaranteed that they have that 8th place spot. It would have to take some kind of like a loss next week with Winona or St. Cloud picking up a win, and then it's a question of the head-to-head, and there's a lot of other factors that go into that. So Pupper Dogs, if they win this, that's huge for them, but Fighting Saints, they're fighting as hard as they can for this win. They need to get this win in order to get into the playoffs. Otherwise, they're out of any chance of making it.
Yeah, absolutely. This matchup, not only the seeding and playoff implications, but also just bragging rights between your two school or your two teams at the same school, which is also very valuable and a lot to play for.
Yeah, and both these teams carrying some playful banter against each other.
Exactly. From the same school, it's a fun game, but you definitely want to win.
Yeah, again.
Definitely want to be able to be show them, man. Show your school, man.
I mean, when you're playing against somebody that you go to class with, and if the school has a club that you see at club or that you just play with online, you got to be able to say, hey, we beat you.
Yeah.
We beat you.
Feels good.
Remember, yeah. It's
you lost to me.
Especially when it's your lane opponent. Like Hanoob against Wings Cow, that's going to be huge. I mean, just the bragging rights alone. But also the playoff spot position is the coveted, that 8th place spot. You just made it, but you made it. That's the key.
That's all that matters, right?
Yeah. As long as you make it into playoffs, you keep playing in the tournament, and your name of the school keeps going through the standings. So going into next season, you're going to have a little bit more hype behind your school. So not only are they fighting for personal glory, but glory for their schools as well. But again, either way, it's the same school competing against each other. Different teams, though. Pupper Dogs versus Fighting Saints. Who will win? Let us know, Twitch chat and on Twitter. Hashtag Pupper Dogs or hashtag Fighting Saints win. I believe we have the R from both teams. They are in their correct order, I believe. And all 5 members are here from both sides. So the question is, what is the pick and ban going to look like for these two teams? Because a lot of times we've been seeing these pocket picks taken off the table, and when it's two teams from the same school that are most likely friends that play together a lot, they got to know a lot about not only each other's champions, but play styles. And that's going to be the key to look at here. How do they play around each other and against each other?
Yeah, I anticipate this to be, again, more targeted banning instead of more meta banning. Both of these teams play for the same school. I'm sure that they play with each other from time to time. I'm sure they know what each other likes to play and what each other is comfortable on and what each other's best champions are. So I definitely assume that we will see a lot of target banning going on.
Yeah, the question is a lot of the jungle and mid lane. That's what we've seen almost exclusively banned out. We've seen a couple Lulu bans as well from that support pick. But other than that, most of these teams choosing, again, to focus those mid lanes and those jungles. The question is, Ari and Orianna keep getting through. And those are two of the most popular mid laners right now. So maybe we'll finally see one of those taken off the table. But in the meantime, looking at the Pupper Dogs, looking at the Fighting Saints, we see that the jungle pick for Pupper Dogs, specifically for Demolisher, is a lot of kind of more carry jungle oriented. So he's played the Kha'Zix, he's played the Nocturne, played the Lee Sin. Whereas for the side of Synos, it's kind of a different story, playing slightly more tanky junglers, playing Vi a couple times, Zac as well. But he's also known for playing a couple carries. Neither one known for their Graves, though. So is this an instance where we don't see the Graves ban? That's been a very popular ban so far.
I would assume, unless these guys have inside information that I'm not quite aware of. But yeah, we have not seen either jungler play. We have seen Synos play it one time.
Great.
So
yes.
we have seen Synos play
loss,
Graves one time, and they lost on it. So this could be, one of those games where Graves does get through. We expect neither jungler to really be prioritizing this. Maybe prioritizing things like we've seen Lee Sin, both of them play. We've seen both of them play things like the Rek'Sai as well.
Yeah, tankier junglers that initiate, like the Vi, like the Rek'Sai. But again, are those worth taking off the table? Maybe they are when these teams know each other so well. Those are the types of things that we as spectators might not know as much about these players. And I like to talk to the players, get a sense of what they feel and how they like to play against each other and how they think the matchup is going to go. I haven't talked to either of these teams about this specific matchup, though, so I'm excited to see what they're able to bring out and what kind of spicy picks we see as well. I mean, I love it when they pull out something that we haven't seen before and also something that we're not expecting.
Yeah, I love it too. I'd love to see some juicy picks during this game. Some more Galio, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what I need to
Galio
see. I want to
is
see
fun.
something cool.
I want to see the Twitch bot lane. That's all I want to see.
Twitch would be great.
One of the most fun AD carries, in my opinion, to watch. Jin as well, really flashy with that curtain call, not just for the team fights, but also for the picks and the initiation is always fun to watch. So we are getting the ready signal from both teams, so we are hopping in to pick and bans. This is going to be a really fun match. Again, Fighting Saints fighting for that playoff spot. They need to get it, and Zach immediately taken off the table for sign. He has just not been able to play that champ. Banned against so many times, and answered with the Rek'Sai against Demolisher.
Yeah, and two champions that we were talking about just a moment ago, both of these junglers like to play, and they're going to be taken off the board right away.
Ooh.
Ron being taken away. Somewhat curious.
Yeah, it's not a champion that's been popular in the meta or in MNLCS, or that Marvel's Maven has played all that often. So, again, this is maybe one of those things where they just understand more about the other team than we do. But the Ahri ban is something I like to see. When they have blue side, they have the priority. They can pick these meta high priority picks first. So take those off the table. I would not be surprised to see the Lulu taken off as well.
Yeah, I'm very happy to see this Ahri ban. It just really does seem like possibly the most powerful pick in the MNLCS. A lot of mid laners really like the champion. It's really strong right now. It's seeing a lot of wins and just a lot of priority.
Yeah, and they're making us wait. They're definitely doing their research, figuring out what they want to ban, and it's actually the Ezreal taking it away from Ultimatum.
Does not want to see this. Ooh, wow. We were talking about how we did not think this was going to be
We were smack talking.
A little bit ago.
We were smack talking.
Demolisher's like, hey, shut up, casters. I can play this. I'm going to first pick it. Followed by the Lulu first pick from the other side. So two traditional first picks that we kind of do expect to see just meta-wise being taken off the board right away.
And that's what is nice when you're red side. When there's two high-priority meta champs that are still on the table, you don't have to ban one of them out as your last ban because you understand one of them is going to go to the other team and you can pick up the other. What is curious to see is the Amumu hover. Are they actually going to lock it in for Synos? He doesn't have a Zac and he doesn't have his Warwick. Is Amumu the answer that they need now if he's looking for that initiator? It is. They lock in the Amumu.
He wants that tanky initiator, as we were talking about, and he's going to get it just something a little bit different than what he's been playing recently. But Synos, if you play the Amumu correctly, does just that job very well.
And honestly, this is kind of a throwback to last split. Back in the fall, Synos played exclusively Zac and Amumu. I can't even remember a game that he didn't play one of those two champs, so I like that he was able to pick it up. It's kind of a throwback. So it's fun for any fans that have been watching for a while to see this player on this champ again. And there is the Orianna as well as a Caitlyn, another high priority pick. So looking at the side of the Fighting Saint, or the Pupper Dogs, sorry, the Pupper Dogs. They're on blue side. Fighting Saints on right side. Then Scholastica.
I'm probably going to mess it up a couple times during
Puff Boy Pupper Dogs. That's how I remember. Yeah. So Pupper Dogs have a very meta pick right now, and the Teemo hover, is that the answer?
Give it to him. Give it to him.
I want it, but I don't because I want this to be a more even game, and Teemo just doesn't do that, but it is locked in Vel'Koz instead. The question is, Kalista, is that the AD carry answer to the Caitlyn?
It would be curious to see this pick locked in for me, at least. I don't traditionally think as Lulu being a terrific support with Kalista, and not even traditionally a great pick into the Caitlyn, so I'm very curious.
Ooh, the Kennen, I like that, but the Kog'Maw I like even better.
And here's Caitlyn versus Kog'Maw once again, and Kog'Maw is going to have the Lulu on his side this time. Traditionally thought of the best support for the Kog'Maw.
And I like what the Fighting Saints are able to do here. They don't pick their top laner, which means they get the counter pick, and it's going to be a Gnar. So they get to choose. They get the next 40-some seconds to decide what do they want to play into Gnar, and also what do they want to play that fits their team style with a Bard. accompanying the Caitlyn on the bot side.
Pretty aggressive bottom lane here for the side of the
Pupper
Dogs. Puff Boy Pupper Dog.
Puff Boy Pupper Dog. That's all you got to remember.
Pretty aggressive bot lane coming in here against the Lulu and the Kog'Maw. Going to try to shut that Kog'Maw down early again, see if they can do it in this matchup, which was failed in the previous game.
And the question is, what is answered in the top lane against the Gnar? We've seen historically Kroll the Fourth playing a lot of tanks, playing a lot of Poppy, a lot of Nautilus, and maybe Malphite now. This would be an incredible matchup as Gnar, if he's going for the aggressive build, might go for that AD, might get the Black Cleaver, might get that Frozen Mallet. Malphite scaling off of armor. This is going to be a strong lane for him, but he's going to have to deal with the range of Gnar, which could be a little annoying for him.
And it is locked in here. The Malphite, not quite as tanky as the champions that we traditionally see Kroll the Fourth on, but should be an interesting top lane matchup. You do get a little bit of range with the Q from Malphite, but Gnar just far outranges Malphite as a whole with this kit.
But what I like is the initiation. Kroll the Fourth on Malphite, he's got to deal with Puff Boy in lane and AD champ. He's got to deal with Demolisher as the jungle and AD jungler. In late game team fights, Ultimatum is going to be poking him down. Again, more AD. The only AP being Orianna. Yes, that's a lot, but it's most of a burst. So if Orianna's not going to be able to burst on a Malphite. So I honestly like the pick. If he's able to get enough armor and get a little bit of MR to deal with that Orianna, maybe just Merc Treads, although I believe that instead he should go for the Ninja Tabi. But just something to deal with that damage. I like what the Fighting Saints were able to pull off here with their pick and ban.
Yeah, much more easy engage. With the Malphite ultimate, a Mumu, very straightforward. You understand when we can go in. You understand it's easier to engage with those champions than, say, Puff Boy on the Gnar. You have to be mega. You have to hit the stun into the wall, or the Bard has to nail his ultimate. And that's really the engage that we see from that team. So much more straightforward engage here from the Fighting Saints.
Yeah, and they have shown that this is what they like to play. They like to play, again, that more consistent engage. Having a Mumu, if you land the bandage toss, throw out that ultimate, you stun so many members. Malphite follows up with an unstoppable force, knocking up even more the entire time. Hanob on Vel'Koz popping his ultimate, just doing so much damage. Kog'Maw raining down fire as Lulu is peeling as she does. This team fight composition is a little insane from the Fighting Saints. What I will give to the Pupper Dogs is those 3 meta picks with Graves, Orianna, Caitlyn, all incredibly strong. The question I have is honestly the Bard. I'm not sure who he's going to try to pick off. Maybe the Vel'Koz, but again, you got to catch Lulu, because if you catch anybody other than her, she's just going to keep them alive, and it's going to be really difficult to take them down unless winged.
Yeah, absolutely. As we were saying, this team is going to have a little bit more of a difficult time engaging. However, they do just have a very, very strong team. Just very powerful overall. Gnar can unleash a lot of damage. Graves, Orianna, and Caitlyn, we're talking about how much priority they are right now in the league. All very, very strong champions. Give you that nice little mix of AD and AP. If the side of the Fighting Saints build a lot of armor, which they probably should be doing against this comp, if Wing Cow gets ahead, he's going to be just deleting them.
Yeah, but keep in mind, they have the 3 meta picks, but they also did what I said I like to see in Minnesota LCS. The pigs that we don't expect and we haven't seen before. Yeah, Gnar, Bard, really fun to watch, and also not popular at all right now in this tournament. So I'm really happy that they did make it fresh, they kept it fresh, and they picked things that are fun to watch, and that the fans and us as casters, it gets a little boring when you just commentate Maokai into Nautilus top lane all the time.
It's a matchup that I don't like to talk about.
It brings up bad memories.
Yeah.
And they're just slapping each other a little more, and Jungler came top.
The Nautilus got
anything.
3 damage on Maokai this time. The Maokai took 3 damage.
Hopefully this is different. It's still two tanks into each other, but a little different level of tank. I'm excited to see what they can bring in. Talking about the roam ability here from the side, or the summoner spell option from the side of the Fighting Saints, they have the double teleport comp, whereas the Pupper Dogs taking cleanse on Orianna. It's got to be an answer to the Amumu, I would assume. It's not great into Vel'Koz, but the Amumu, that bandage toss into the ultimate, Orianna's going to be able to get out and counter ultimate. So I honestly am not, I don't like it into the lane, but I like it into the enemy team.
Yeah, the cleanse is somewhat curious. It doesn't seem credible into this comp, but it definitely does have its uses, and I'm curious to see if Wing Cow can use that to his advantage, or would something like an Ignite or to answer the teleport from the Vel'Koz have been a better option?
Well, the reason I like it is because if, say it's a late game team fight, Amun was able to lock down the Orianna and the Caitlyn. Now Orianna pops Cleanse, throws out her ball, ults any damage dealers nearby from the side of the Fighting Saints, so Caitlyn doesn't have to pick up QSS as early. Eventually, it's going to be a good item to pick up, but the problem with QSS is it's just not gold efficient for AD carries, so if Orianna can just kind of counter-initiate against the enemy team, giving Caitlyn time to just come back from that CC, it's going to keep Caitlyn alive for much longer. So I honestly do really like it for the team comp. But getting into this game, we have the Pupper Dogs from College of St. Scholastica with Puffboy top lane, Demolisher in the jungle, Winged Cow mid lane with Ultimatum and the Updog on the bot side. Their opponents today fighting for their playoff spot, their last playoff hope. Krell the fourth in the top lane, Cynos in the jungle, Hanoob mid with Ex-Soviet and Marvelous Maven on the bottom side. Pupper Dogs versus Fighting Saints. Who will win? Let us know on Twitter, on Twitch chat. Hashtag Pupper Dogs or hashtag Fighting Saints. We've told you who we think had the better team comps. Let us know if we're wrong. As I'm sure everybody already is.
And Pupper Dogs and Fighting Saints, let me see a little level 1 cheese. I see some level 1 action. I actually have not seen that Kog'Maw skin before. That looks really cool.
I believe it's a chroma for the, I don't know the name of the skin. It's like underwater or deep sea Kog'Maw, something like that. I believe the actual skin is more of a greenish blue, but maybe a chroma here. I do like the pink, though. It's a nice touch.
It's like the fish from Finding Dory, the little guy with the light.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they're mocking, yeah. It looks cool.
Just keep swimming.
Yeah.
As I'm sure Updog will do. There's really no swimmers on this. I would have liked to see a Nami against it. That would have been ironic.
It would have been ironic in a sense. Nami just keeps swimming.
Or Jack, maybe the angler Jacks with the fishing rod.
Yeah.
What other Nautilus, I guess, could
yeah, subterranean maybe.
I feel like we are absolutely missing a big one right now.
I'm sure there is, dude.
Lulu. There's Lulu. If it was the pool party Lulu, she's got the little puffer fish with her. Yeah. It all comes back to Disney. It's confirmed. Everything Riot Games does is in response to Disney. As we see level 7 masteries.
That was an interesting little tangent there. All right.
I think it was beneficial to the viewers.
There was no cheesing going on really. It was kind of just standard. So I'd rather talk about Nemo, I guess.
Exactly. And let's talk a little bit more about these builds. We're seeing Ex-Soviet taking the longsword, meaning that he's going to reach those power spikes later in the game, whereas Ultimatum taking the Doran's Blade. What are your opinions on that, not only as the color commentator, but also as an AD carry main?
Yeah, so this is really, throughout this split in this league and throughout the LCS, this has kind of gone back and forth from, first it was D-Blade with the pot, and then for a while it was Longsword 3 pots, and now it's kind of up in the air. Typically you do see the Kog'Maw go for the Doran's Blade and the 3 pots, but it will get him to whatever item he wants to go for first faster, whether it's the Rage Blade or the Bork. One of those two items, which he'll probably go for first, he will, or the Trinity Force actually, so he will get to his power spike a little bit faster and has a little bit more sustain in the lane against a very pokey Caitlyn and Bard, so I like that choice, and I would take the Doran's Blade on Caitlyn.
Yeah, not only is it 3 potions for Exovia, but 3 biscuits. It gives him a little bit extra mana as well. So
no longsword items really for Caitlyn to be had. So
true.
You're almost always starting IE into her
until we see that dagger. Dagger 4 pots. Would that be it?
Dagger 4 pots. That would be it. Yeah.
Maybe there'll be a champ. Maybe
we did see Boots 4 pots for a little while.
That was in the meta. As now we're seeing again just maybe a little bit of a farm lane here with the Bard. It's very different than what we saw in the Soraka last game, as well as we saw the Alistar into that Soraka. So incredibly different supports with the same 80 carries. What's going to happen? Cynos actually getting some action in the jungle, taking damage, and at Puffboy following down, just getting a ward.
And Demolisher getting a nice little trade onto Cynos in the enemy jungle there probably means an early back for Cynos, and it does, as Demolisher's going to continue to jungle, continue to rank up, picking up that Scuttle Crab right now.
Yeah, the vision control isn't necessarily important right now, but it does give him a little extra gold, as well as some of that health back. So he's very healthy, looking to potentially counter jungle or roam mid. early gank here. Hanoob might not see it coming, but doesn't actually get out of it. As Pokes come in for the bot lane. Soviet about half health right now.
Yeah, Ultimatum and Updog are going to want to try to combat this lane early as best they can. As we saw in the previous game, the Kog'Maw was kind of able to farm for a while and just got strong naturally off of that. You want to try to pressure this Kog'Maw early, try to get him down as early as you can.
But this is exactly what the Caitlyn does. I mean, just shoves wave after wave, clearing these so quickly. As well, as long as you keep vision around, it's going to be easy to do this, especially when the enemy only has an Amumu that's not even level 6. His ganking potential is not great, but it looks like he's going for it. Jumps over the wall. Ultimatum's in a bad spot. Might go down solo. Synos, does he land the bandage toss? Flashes in. Ooh. Misses the bandage. Gets slowed. Flash away and heal from Ultimatum. But the counter gank might be coming through. Summoner spells blown from Ultimatum. And a flash in for Demolisher. Gets polymorphed. Flash response from Marvelous Maven, and so many summoner spells burned in that bot side gank.
Yeah, lots of summoners builder. No kills traded over, no first blood yet. Nice response coming in there from Demolisher, as well as a nice getaway by Updog as well as Ultimatum. Demolisher not quite able to get as much damage as he wanted to on that flash, but he does trade it with Marvelous Maven, so all in all, all right.
Ooh, and the damage, the combo. Coming from Caitlyn does so much to Xovia, but the shields from Lulu help out a little.
Lulu able to buff the Kog'Maw in many ways.
That's why Lulu's so good. I mean, it's not necessarily sustain because you're not healing, but it's quasi because I mean the shields make it so that any damage it would be coming through don't, so you can stay alive just that much longer in lane, especially against something so pokey like the Caitlyn, who's struggling for mana. As Krell is struggling against Puffboy.
Yeah, really nice trade there for Puffboy in the top lane. Going to make Krell back, and now he's going to get a large CS advantage. Going to be able to push that wave under tower and deny the farm from Krell.
I'm expecting.
Krell does have the teleport up.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see that. And actually coming back, instead of armor, he's opting for AP. Getting 2 Doran's rings, a lot of mana sustain, a little bit of health, but most importantly, that ability power is going to make it a little easier for him to fight. And the ultimate coming out from Noob early. Trying to get Winged Cow bursted down a little bit, but doesn't accomplish much with it. Keep in mind, he's still full health and very happy with his mana count. So, interesting choice there.
Yeah, just trying to get a little bit of chip damage, make the lane a little bit easier for him on Winged Cow. And Winged Cow has not gotten a back in yet. So, with that push pressure that Hanoob now has, with his back already in, he can maybe look to roam, look to continue to pressure this tower and get Winged Cow down on CS.
And this is the question I have for the Graves pick. I mean, it's so strong, but you got to play it correctly. I mean, Graves is so powerful in that 1v1 against the enemy jungler, especially when it's an Amumu. And we saw Demolisher play up to that a little bit at the beginning, but struggling now. He's not pressuring Synos' jungle at all, and not even getting a sizable level advantage. Hitting level 5 first, but I would expect to see Graves just constantly fighting Amumu for every one of Amumu's jungle.
And Amumu kind of being able to free farm a little bit here. I'm curious to see where the next action comes in from either one of these junglers. Both kind of hovering around the bot side right now. It is an Ocean Drake as the first dragon.
And Pupper Dogs not actually able to get a huge lead here. Keep in mind, yes, they are ahead in the standings, making them favorited to win, but they're only ahead by 1 game. Both these teams very even so far in this tournament, so I'm curious to see which one has the guts to make this first move. We saw that Synos tried to do something bot, burning flash for it, but is he going to do that again or just farm to level 6? It makes sense for the Amumu. Does Demolisher do the same as he already is 6? Where is he going to go next?
Yeah, Demolisher getting 6 before Synos. I would like to see him try to make a move if at all possible. I'd really like to see a move be made in this game, you know. Very slow start to the game. Just like the last one, these games do matter for playoff positioning. Both teams want to play it safe. Try to get the first advantage. Make sure that it is a safe go in.
Yeah, and talking about these slight advantages, Ultimatum being up about 2.5 waves, almost 3 waves now on Xovia. The farm potential here for Caitlyn is so huge. And Xovia is just not able to respond. Again, being under turret farming as Kog'Maw, this hurts so bad.
It is very difficult, especially when you don't have the ultimate. Once you get the ultimate, it gets a little bit easier to farm under tower, but very difficult without it. And Ultimatum just continuing to push these waves under the tower.
And the items finish from Xovia. Having that Bilgewater Cutlass is going to help a little bit, but he needs more help from Synos, who is level 6 now. Might get caught out from Demolisher in his own jungle. The junglers will meet. It's getting pinged out as Demolisher's trying to clear up the chickens, but Hanoob roaming up there as action comes in the bot side. Exovia taking so much damage. Heal comes in as Exhaust is popped on Ultimatum, and they can't quite get the kill. A skirmish still happening on the top side of the jungle, but again, no kills traded. And then just a lot of summoner spells burned once more.
It looked like there was going to be maybe a little 3v2 engage in the top side of the jungle, and then at the same time there's a 2v2 engage going on down here, and really nothing, no kills being given over, still 9.5 minutes into this one. Just more summoners being traded for both sides.
Synos on the top side. Puffboy not even close to reaching Mega Gnar, but Demolisher's up there as well with very little defensive summoner spells on the bot side. Only flashes available. Exoviet, low on mana, is in a really rough spot right now. Might have to take it back and lose even more farm.
Yeah, and Ultimatum and Updog playing this well. This is what they want to do to the Kog'Maw lane. They want to try to get him behind as much as they can. And Exoviet's going to have a hell of a time trying to clear these waves right now. With no mana, pretty low on health against full health Ultimatum. It's going to be very difficult for him to try to keep even here. Yeah,
talking about this top side, though, we commented how Gnar will have a decent time kind of zoning out the Malphite, being able to get those auto attacks in, but he's actually behind in CS and constantly losing these damage trades. I almost expected Krell to go all in on him earlier there, but quite out of the damage for it, so I'm happy he didn't, but Puffboy struggling to keep up with the farm from this Malphite. So we're seeing farm advantages top side, but also on the bot side is now the flash away from Marvelous Maven, avoiding that deadly trap.
And Ultimatum and Uptuck picking up another small advantage here for them, and I believe if they can maybe bait them into pushing out that bottom lane, it could be a very easy gank for Demolisher.
But also an easy gank for Synos as he once again roams to the bot side. Demolisher is nearby. This might be the counter gank. Synos going in. He's spotted out by a ward. Does he actually complete the gank? He backs off. You gotta just commit. He is on the bot side just doing a little dance. Does he go for it? Oh, maybe not. Hanoob roaming down. The ward disappears. They don't have the vision there. They don't know he's still there. This actually will be some action on the bot side finally, as there's also action on the top. Synos misses Bandage House, lands the ultimate onto the Ultimatum and the Updog, but the bot lane's just not following up as Demolisher roams down as well. Exoviet and Marvelous Maven more concerned about the farm. Following up on a gank. 4 members from both teams bot side and still no kills.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of miscommunication there coming from the side of the Fighting Saints. It looked like the Mumu really wanted to go and got a nice 2-man ultimate there, but no real follow-up. And the side of the Pupper Ducks don't have the damage to kill Synos fast enough. And still nothing too much coming from that 4v4 in the bottom lane.
And this top lane CS advantage, it's a little more close as Puffboy able to clean up so much of that farm on a turret. I'm actually very impressed that he was able to get that. But keep in mind, Krell not really able to do much about it as Puffboy playing that Gnar. Another champ that can CS fairly decently under his own turret. Goes Mega. And can't really do much with it. No jungler topside and no help against this Malphite who's slowly poking him down. I would like to see Krell attempt to do an all-in 1v1. That's what Malphite's made for. That all-in potential is just huge.
Yeah, and it feels like both these junglers do want to make something happen in the bottom side of the map. It just feels like they haven't really been committed to it, but they keep hovering around there. They keep hovering around the bot side. They both come down to clear the bottom side of the jungler once again.
And Hanoob actually getting blue buff means that lane's going to be a little easier for him, as it's virtually even in CS. And what I want to see now is Synos going topside. We see Krell keeps getting Puffboy just low enough so that he can't quite all in him and get the kill. But if Synos is up there, that will be a little more insurance to at least blow a summoner spell from Puffboy, helping out that top lane matchup. They just keep trading.
Yeah, they're just getting these little trades in back and forth, little pokes in back and forth in the top lane. There's nothing too much coming from it. This is still a very much an actionless game so far. And no first blood 13 minutes.
This is Puffboy going Mega again. Synos on the top side jungle. As soon as he goes Little Gnar, you got to go top. They don't see Demolisher, but if Demolisher doesn't stick around, this is prime ganking time.
Demolisher may be looking to go in here.
He is heading top, but this is the wrong time. Puffboy just went little. You don't want to gank as he's not Mega Gnar. Krell the 4th actually getting so much damage on the Puffboy. TP coming in from Noob to the top side jungle. Demolisher might get caught out here. Ultimate's available. Krell do Unstoppable Force, and this might be first blood. Finally, Unstoppable Force lands and knock him up, and first blood finally to Krell the fourth on the Malphite.
And as you were saying, Demolisher goes in there a little bit too deep there after the Gnar had already gotten mini. Nice teleport there from Noob, able to secure that first blood finally.
Oh, Marvelous Maven might be going down. Wild Growth onto himself, keeps him alive. Stepping on those Caitlyn traps doesn't feel good. Soviet trying to get down onto Ultimatum. The shields are in, and so much damage on this bot.
So much damage traded there in the bot lane. Underneath the tower, Ultimatum up dog doing their best to get a kill onto Marvelous Maven.
They won it.
Soviet. They just have not been able to quite get the last points of damage.
You can tell that they won it, and what I want to see is these mid laners playing more around an aggressive style. First, a Turret Blood finally going down bot side. Marvelous Maven getting caught out. The flash in from the up dog secures a kill on bot lane. Finally traded back, but that first Turret Blood feels good.
Nice play by Updog. They secure the turret. Nice
ultimate on the bot side. Can he get onto Ultimatum? Ex-Soviet's there. Ultimatum stayed a little too long. Barely gets through the magical journey flash over the wall from Hanu, but he's going out to the wrong member. Demolisher catching him out. No defensive summoner spell. And unfortunately, Ex-Soviet so far away. Noob trying to duel with Demolisher, but Winged Cow is coming down for backup. Demolisher jumping in. There is the ultimate from Orianna, the coveted Shockwave. Demolisher picking up a double for himself.
And there it is. Demolisher finally finding his spot. He comes to the bottom lane. After that nice play by the Bard, ultimate onto Marvelous Maven, flashes in, gets the stun picks kill for himself. And then it's kind of disjointed after that, but Demolisher doing a nice job picking up 2 kills on the back end of that.
Yeah, and again, the roams from the mid laners, questionable. It worked out here. Hanu just went a little too aggressive. What I would have liked to see is, I mean, when Hanu teleported topside, Winged Cow, you got to push in the wave and then go bot. Or join them topside. Walk up there. I mean, it was already lost, so maybe not go top. But you got to answer the roams from your opposing laner and get an advantage somewhere else on the map. We saw prime advantage for them there as he could have gone bot. His team's still able to pick it up. Krell the fourth wanting to go all in on Puffboy, almost going mega. The Unstoppable Force might just get it. Ooh. Unfortunately not. He doesn't want to commit. And really, actually too low on mana.
Yeah, really low on mana for Krell the fourth. Maybe could have picked up the kill there if he did have the mana for the ultimate. But decides to wisely back up, I'd say, as Puffboy did just go mega as well.
Yeah, Pupper Dog's getting a sizable gold lead now, 2,500 with that first Turret Blood, as well as a couple kills advantage now, which means that the bot lane from the Pupper Dogs can roam mid. And what I would like to see is send Winged Cow bottom side. He can deal with the Ex-Soviet and Marvelous Maven, but actually an initiation from Synos. There's the Amumu ultimate. There's the combo with the noob. This is the Wamba 1-2 punch that we were talking about. Teleport completes from Puffboy, though. So it's now a 4v3 in the mid lane. And this is what Chicken Chasers need to do. They need to get these, or not the Chicken Chasers, rather the Fighting Saints. Sorry, Chicken Chasers were the last game. This is what the Fighting Saints need to do in order to win this game. They got to play around their team's strengths, and their team's strength is hyper engaged.
Yeah, great ultimate there from Synos. Great follow-up from Noob. Not only picking up the kill, but getting a lot of damage across the entirety of the Pupper Dogs. And maybe going to be able to push in this mid tower. Looks like they do not have the wave to do so. Are they going to stick around?
Yeah, this is the question. You got to kill. What are you going to do with that? There's now only 4 members of Pupper Dogs on the map.
Looks
you
like
got to do something with that, and maybe it's Dragon.
Going for the Ocean Drake here. Going to try to get that early sustain. Let's see if the Pupper Dogs want to do anything about it.
He's stunned. He's killed by Demolisher. This might mean they have to back up Dragon, as Winged Cow, unfortunately, has come back up, is in mid lane. Ready to come. Nice leash. Fighting Saints. Actually, Synos jumping back in. No ultimate available. Unstoppable Force means a kill goes over to Ex-Soviet. Shockwave onto one member of the Fighting Saints. Krell on the backline, causing mayhem. Chasing down Winged Cow. Aggressively flashes in. Can he get the kill? Can he get the damage? He gets the kill. Finally taking down another member. Dies for the first time this game. In the meantime, though, kills traded across the board. The fight is still going on. Synos, you missed the bandage toss. You paid with your life. Updog picking up that kill, as well as Puffboy clean up Marvelous Maven. And Fighting Saints getting a little too greedy at the end.
And a very messy fight there from both sides. It took them so long to kill Krell the fourth. I got kind of lost in what was happening in the rest of the fight there. But yes, at the end of that, Pupper Dogs too high of health for the Fighting Saints to continue to go in there, and they get a little bit too greedy at the end of the fight. Sinos misses the bandage toss, and they lose 2 more at the end.
And honestly, even if he had landed it, that's not a bandage that you want to take when you're that low health. Still did not have ultimate available. It would have been better to run away, reset, take the advantage and kills that you had, and try to do something else. Ooh, and there is a little bit of lag coming in, I believe, from the side of the Fighting Saints. It might be the Pupper Dogs, though. We'll have to check. But the game has been paused.
And a pretty close game here so far. 7-4 in kills. Just about a 3K gold lead for the Pupper Dogs. 19 minutes into this one. 1 turret to 0. So really could go either way throughout the course of this game.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit, though, about what just happened with that entire play. Not the fight itself, but what happened right before that fight. They were able to get a clean initiation mid lane, pick up a kill on the winged cow, but the team did not react fast enough. This is what a lot of these teams are struggling with that we've been seeing throughout this entire tournament. They get a kill. Well, what do you do with that? It's now 5 against 4 on the map. Getting the kill alone isn't enough gold to make it really worth it. You got to get the kill and then push a wave. Get the kill, get an objective. Hopefully both. Push a wave, then go for drag. They just went to drag a little too late, got caught out, took a lot of damage, and now Puff Boy going in onto Hanu might actually dive under turret. Instead, takes a little bit of damage. Ultimate responds. Damage traded almost equally.
We do have Wing Cow picking up this blue buff to try to go back into a damage Hanum. Now he will have a nice little advantage in this lane, and it's going to force Hanum to... He will stick around. He does have Marvelous Maven to help him out.
Yeah, having Morellonomicon definitely helps with the mana sustain, but the health sustain is an issue. How can he heal this up against Winged Cow, who has the ultimate available? He might just get bursted down immediately. Sinos getting chased away in his own jungle. And these are the rotations that I like to see. Pupper Dogs grouping around the dragon, but in the meantime, they're losing a lot of pressure top lane. Krull the Fourth pushing in that top turret. They're looking for some kind of pick here.
Yeah, Krull the Fourth has been smacking down that turret for a while. Gets some good damage on it. Nar finally arrives.
Ooh,
Updog, it does not land the stun, and their plans are foiled.
The Pupper Dogs, they're spotted out. They were trying to bait the dragon, but unfortunately, the Fighting Saints were able to sniff it out. So, you know, let's play safe. Let's check the bush before we run into it.
Fighting State's playing that well. They do not get caught out by any kinds of CC, and really no advantage giving over to either side. They're both kind of just eyeing each other down right now.
And it's a dance. It's a dance of dragons, as it were, if you are a Thrones fan. But there's the initiation. Sinos, Hanoob, there's the Wombo combo. Demolisher might be going down as well. Teleport coming in from Krell is answered by Puffboy. He doesn't have it quite yet. No CC able to land. Krell actually cancels. And instead, it is the Fighting Saints turning their sights on drag. It's a 4v3, but Demolisher does have Smite available as well as Ultimate. Does he go for the 50-50? They actually lose it. Pops the Ultimate trying to get that Dragon Steel, but well played from the Fighting Saints. They pick up the kill, and they go for the objective.
And they do not get too greedy. They back off a little bit here, I think. They do not get too greedy. They pick up the kill on the dragon. Nice trade for them. Krell decides not to go back in. He thinks that he probably can't get anything more for his teleport. The kill on the dragon's enough.
I like that call. I mean, the teleport was enough to scare the Pupper Dogs, but if he had teleported down, he would have lost so much CS as well. A lot of pressure on that top turret. But keep in mind, teleport wasn't up for Puffboy, so he didn't try to answer. So it is teleport advantage now to the Pupper Dogs. They got to figure out how they're going to play around this, whether it's making some kind of pressure play on Baron. It's a little early for that, though. So I think you just kind of hold on to this for now.
Yeah, you could hold on to it, but you do have that reduced summoner cooldown time from the canceled teleport, and they do pick up tower here, but from the canceled teleport from Krell the Fourth, so they will only have this window for a short
going
amount
in
of time.
on the Puffboy. Sinos is there as well. Bandage toss saved, and the ultimate away. Can they get in? Unstoppable Force, but they jump right into Demolisher. The CC chain. Demolisher is just auto-attacking to his heart's delight, taking a lot of damage. The ultimate available, doesn't get a kill for it. Flash out of the fight from Sinos as Krell might be going down. Hanu picking up a kill on the backside as Fighting Saints have one way out and the Pupper Dogs have one way in. They get the kill. Updog 3-1-3 on Bard.
Yeah, Updog playing this Bard very, very aggressively. Has found 6 kills for his team. Played fantastically so far. In
highest kill participation in the game.
Yeah,
highest KDA as well.
Very well. Has not missed too many of those ultimates.
an ultimatum trying to poke down this mid lane, taking a lot of damage from Hanoob and Marvelous Maven in response. But Hanoob, without that Vel'Koz ultimate, means that ultimatum's still relatively safe.
Ultimatum does have the ultimate up. If Hanoob gets a little too aggressive here, he could get picked off, but he does have Marvelous Maven to provide him with the shields as well.
Ooh, first turret picked up. Or the first turret for the Fighting Saints is picked up.
Ex-Soviet able to pick them one up quickly. Kog'Maw's W just vomits damage onto towers.
If you leave him alone to
It is
split push,
comical. Yeah.
he doesn't have teleport, so he's not a great split pusher, but in an instance where it works very well as they're trying to defend this mid lane. Trying to defend against a Caitlyn, though, that is a difficult task, as this mid turret taking a lot of damage. Demolisher trying to catch out the approach from Ex-Soviet instead of just clearing up a ward.
Yeah, and this is one of those games, unlike we have seen before, it could possibly, don't want to jinx it, go to the late game. We've seen most of these games be ending under 30 minutes, something like that. A lot of them not quite making it to the later stages of the game. So something that we haven't seen as much, it could possibly be this one, very close here, 24 minutes into the game.
And I honestly got to give the late game comp over to the side of the Fighting Saints. They have the Kog'Maw and the Vel'Koz. Yes, Orianna is a monster when she's full build, almost able to one-shot anybody, but keep in mind there's the Lulu available. So if Lulu can just wild growth, whatever target is hit by that shockwave most likely won't go down. And Kog'Maw just vomits damage once he has enough items. So this is a comfortable position for the Fighting Saints to be in. If they're playing for that late game, they have a good chance of actually making it there, and they have a good comp for it.
Excuse me, yeah. Absolutely. I do agree. I think that their late game team fight is a little bit better, especially with the Kog'Maw. They still have that great engage coming from the Malphite and the Amumu. Lulu's always good.
Oh, and there's the initiation onto Puffboy. It's a tanky member, though, and able to jump away. They don't get much for it, but they're trying. They're looking for their moment. And what I like is that they're patient enough to not do it when it isn't their moment. Because, I mean, the Cynos easily could have popped that legendary Curse of the Sad Mummy ultimate. But
Curse of the Sad Mummy. That is
one of the best named
ultimate
ones. But instead saving it because he realizes, no, it's not worth it to get onto Puffboy. He's got to get Winged Cow. He's got to get Demolisher or one of the bot lane members.
Looks like this dance in the mid lane that has been going on for a minute or so is going to finally...
Ultimate goes wide from Bard. Damage and flash out from Ex-Soviet. Doesn't trust Lulu to keep him alive that long, I guess. So Summoner Spell blown when it didn't necessarily need to be. It's a slight advantage, I would say. Ultimate for a flash, always worth.
Yeah, slight advantage there. Updog hitting another ultimate there, looking very good on the Bard, and the mid lane dance continues again after the side waves are being pushed out. Puffboy is even coming to join the party.
Puffboy does get that wave push, though, which is going to be advantage to the side of the Puffer Dogs, because if this is the dance, it's constantly mid lane pushing each other. That bot lane pressure is, I mean, Fighting Saints will have to answer it eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious to see what is these teams' goals here. Who is going to make this first move? They've just been dancing here for so long. They want to try to push in this mid tower. They want a team fight.
Ooh,
someone's got to land something.
And I mean, Fighting Saints, if they land any form of initiation, they should win the team fight. So I think that's what they're waiting for. But they have top turrets so low, they could just send Krell up there. He has teleport up, get him to get that turret, and then join the team. Because they're not going to win this push against the Caitlyn.
Yeah, this dance has been going on for so long. That tower's getting quite low for the side of the Fighting Saints.
Especially with Ex-Soviet on the bot side. You got to just give up the turret and go top. Get that turret. Trade mid or top. It's not an advantageous trade, but you're going to lose this mid if you don't have Kog'Maw there.
Yeah, absolutely. Kog'Maw finally getting that wave push out. Going to try to come back to the mid lane. Updog's ultimate back up to show how long this fight has been going on.
And drag is up.
And it's an important one.
Choose to not go for it, actually. Taking the magical journey through the dragon pit. And again, it's a dance of dragons now. Demolisher and Updog were actually in a pretty strong position. I would have liked for them to stay there. Maybe hide in a bush, get some counter vision around so they can stop the Fighting Saints from trying to get this dragon and try to initiate. There's the initiation onto Demolisher. Tempered Fate keeping Demolisher and Marvelous Maven out of the fight for a while, but Cynos picking up a kill, catching Winged Cow out. There's the cleanse. That is the purpose of the Summoner Spell. Redemption coming down doesn't actually heal or damage anybody, but it is a kill picked up and a jungler nevertheless. So this should be Dragon going to the Fighting Saints.
And Clint certainly saving Winged Cow's life right there, so that looks pretty good. Are they going to try to contest for this dragon without their jungler?
And they got to go for it. They're pulling it out so that there's a less chance of a cheeky steal. But you got to think, yeah, there's really no chance of
Buffboy wanted that Q steal. That would have been awesome.
That would have been pretty hype if it had worked. It would have been like European LCS, the Lulu Baron steals. I believe it was Misfits that pulled that off one game. Early in the split. That's a very far callback I'm hammering out there. Most people would not catch. But this is second drag going over the Fighting Saints, and slowly they're winning this dance. Going still again to this mid turret. Top turret is so juicy. You can just walk up there, Curl, and just auto tag it a couple times. They go down, but instead they're just trying to push out this mid.
Get some free gold. And how long are we going to see this continue? They have just been hovering around this mid lane. It is just a battle to who gets this tower first.
Yeah, and I mean, it's working for the Fighting Saints and working for Hanu, picking up a kill onto Ultimatum. Now they better get this mid turret, but actually Demolisher doesn't want it to go in for free. Shockwave comes in from Orianna. So much damage. They get the kill onto ex-Soviet Marvelous Maven. This is where you need to use the Wild Growth earlier. Wasn't able to get it on to ex-Soviet in time.
Not quite able to get it off there. And Demolisher, being in a good spot there, gets the full Q damage as well as his ultimate off, unleashing so much damage onto ex-Soviet and Mikagma. Picks up another kill and stops the push coming in from the Fighting Saints.
And back to the mid lane push. And this time Hanoob.
They have to get in here, right?
Tried to defend. Can they get the auto attacks? They get it. Finally.
Game over. Game over. They won the mid lane push.
Just FF now, unfortunately, Fighting Saints. You can't answer. Could have gotten top turret. Oh, okay. Aside, it is potentially a Baron push now. There's no vision from the Fighting Saints, and everybody reset. They backed Krell on the bot side. Fighting Saints are none the wiser. This might actually be a free Baron picked up for the Pupper Dogs.
It's getting pinged out right now. Question mark Sping's going on it.
Oh, teleport from Krell the fourth. They see it coming in. Unstoppable Force is available. Does he use it to get over the wall? Hanoob ultimate. Can they get them off of the Baron? Blue team secures that Baron. Tempered Fate. Very well played from Bard.
Another excellent Tempered Fate from Bard, and they need to get out of this as fast as they can. It looks like they will. And that is very well played.
But they jump in onto Ultimatum. The bandage toss has not been thrown yet. Flash in from Synos. Can they get onto Ultimatum? Flash and heal away from the AD carry, but he's got nowhere to go. Gotta be going. Oh, here we go. Hano picks it up. Synos bandage tossing in. Has the Sad Mummy ultimate. Doesn't use it, though, with Baron-empowered minions in between two turrets. They never got that mid-turret.
And a Baron for one kill there, still very worth for the Pupper Dogs. And nicely played. They have the double scanners from the Graves and the Bard, making sure that that area was wardless.
An ex-Soviet, thank you. You are pushing topside. Gonna get a free turret again. It's a free. There's no one up there. No one defending it. Just go get it, and then come join the team. Do something else. And maybe now they can pressure mid because, again, they have that initiation. They don't have the insane wave clear. They have the Vel'Koz, yes, and the Kog'Maw, but you really can't stop the Caitlyn and the Orianna. But you can initiate, which is what they keep trying to do over and over again, just keeping... Oh, the bandage toss lands! But the flash away from Winged Cow means that he survives the cleanse as well. This is exactly why he took that summoner spell to deal with the Amumu.
And now that the Orianna has to back it, it's likely that they'll finally be able to pick up this mid-tower.
And actually getting ahead in towers now as that top lane pushed in so far and picked up a second turret. I didn't expect that, but again, Kog'Maw just does so much damage.
And against the Baron buffed minions, it is actually the Fighting Saints that are able to pick up 3 towers there.
Yeah, almost evening out the gold lead, only 2,000 behind. Again, I'm saying even. It was a 4K deficit before as Baron was picked up. They were able to quickly pick up 2K there. Really clean from them. And, I mean, they could have gotten top turret much earlier, but they were able to play it correctly. No one from the side of the Pupper Dogs was focusing on the top. So ex-Soviet and Krell being able to pick up 2 turrets. Really well played. I like the rotations. They're finally getting their heads in the game, figuring out what turrets are worth it to go for right now.
And now Gnar will be the split pusher in the top lane. Kog'Maw still working on those bottom lane farm. The Pupper Dogs should be looking to group here somewhat with this Baron buff. Looks like Gnar may be getting collapsed on.
Yeah, there's multiple members coming up. They're pinging it out. They want this. But that means that the Puffer Dogs can just free push mid. There's no one to answer it. This mid turret might be going down as Puff Boy pulling away 4 members from Fighting Saints. And this was the wrong call. This turret is going down. And a second tier mid turret, much, much more important than a second tier top turret.
Yeah, and when you make a call like that, it is vital that you pick up the kill, because now Puffboy is just going to be able to go back, continue to split push, and probably going to be able to pick up that tower. They are sending the Malphite to try to deal with him.
Ooh, Sinos jumping in to 3 members. Hanup is there as backup, but Ultimatum is here as well. The ultimate gets so much damage, and unfortunately, Demolisher jumping in rather than out. Sinos does not want it to end. Bandage Shot's just missing Ultimatum, and Demolisher with a slight misplay there. He could have dashed out or even flashed, but instead dashes back into the ultimate from Noob. Meaning he dies.
Vel'Koz damage there. That was insane. Almost picking up both of the kills onto Updog and Demolisher. A ton of Vel'Koz burst with that ultimate.
Yeah, and the answer to the top split push from Puffboy coming in from Krell. It's actually taking a lot of damage from this Gnar now. Gnar's getting a little more tanky, as well as with Black Cleaver completed. The armor from Malphite just doesn't mean as much, but third drag virtually secured for the side of the Fighting Saints here. No members of Puffer Dogs able to respond.
Yeah, Fighting Saints picking up a third one for free now with a Mountain Ocean and Wind Drake. Lots of small advantages they're picking up here, which will help them in this very close game as we move into the late game.
Yeah, now what are they going to do with these dragons? They have the movement speed, they have the sustain, and they have the turret damage. With the Kog'Maw, you gotta siege. You gotta go for some kind of split push. Send Krell into the top lane to answer Puffboy, yes, but then send the rest of the team into the mid lane. Try to push down that turret because again, you still have Sinos for the initiation, Hanup for the follow-up damage, and there's just no kind of counter initiation other than the Bard. If the Updog is able to Tempered Fate onto Hanup as he's using that Lifeform disintegration ray, whew, that's a big word. Then that's a lot of the damage taken down. But I mean, if Amumu is able to lock down Bard, ooh, Exoviet is on the top side. Flash available, jumps the wall instead, but Flash is still there. Hanup, Blast Cone, and Puffboy just jumping all over the map and actually able to get away.
Wow, nice escape there from Puffboy. Kind of a poorly executed collapse there onto the Gnar, but well played by Gnar, able to get away with only expending the Flash.
Yeah, Hanup, questionable ultimate there. As Sinos jumps in on Winged Cow, but knows his team isn't there for the follow-up, does not pop the sad mummy curse. And instead, it just comes down to pushing these waves again. Top lane pushing in against Fighting Saints. Who are they going to send to answer that?
Yeah, and Sinos ultimate up here, as well as Krell the Fourth's ultimate up. The best engaged tools in the game, both up for them. They have to be looking to siege now. No Baron buff left for the Puffer Dogs.
There's really no purpose to do that initiation without the Vel'Koz ultimate, but it is up now. So I do agree that they want to make some kind of play. I don't mind them resetting right now, going back, trying to spend their gold, get some more items so that they can win these fights. But again, they got to look to do some kind of initiation. They're so far ahead in drags, close enough in golds that these team fights should still go in their favor.
Yeah, and looking at both sides, summoners as well as ultimates, pretty much everything up for everybody. Only Puffboy's Flash being down. Literally all other ultimates and all other summoners are up right now, so both teams looking to fight.
You know what that means? We are not going to see any action for a very long time.
We're going to see a mid lane dance.
As both teams still content to just continually farm and get into the late game. But keep in mind, the later the game goes, the better this is for Kog'Maw and for Vel'Koz. Orianna, so strong, but with the Lulu, if Lulu's able to get out the wild growth fast enough, then the shockwave doesn't really mean much from Orianna. Krell and Puffboy just keep fighting each other. There's not much happening, actually. Puffboy coming out ahead in these trades, so Krell might not even be the best answer to the split push.
Yeah, not too much damage traded over, but Puffboy with a slight advantage there. Looking at this Kog'Maw right now, he is 2 items fully complete, almost done with this third one, and that is really when he starts to hit his massive power spike.
And Baron was started by the Fighting Saints, but they back off because there's the Scuttle Vision, so they know you're there.
They can shred it pretty fast with the Kog'Maw and the Mountain Drake.
I don't like this. Their mid lane is pushing up. Orianna was able to push that entire wave. Yes, they have their top lane pushing in, but the Fighting Saints are losing their map pressure right now, trying to go for this Baron, but They're not committing to it. You got to just start it, because now Winged Cow is able to push out that mid wave, which means that they can't go for Baron anymore. There's the Wild Growth, as Shockwave isn't even blown from Orianna. What is happening on this topside jungle? They both want to fight, but neither one is confident enough to start it.
Yeah, they do get the Wild Growth out of Marvelous Maven. They pick up a slight advantage. Now would maybe be a good time to fight, just because they do have all of their ultimates up. They are ready to go. They just know that the Wild Growth is not available to the Lulu.
Wild Growth is not available, as well as the Disintegration Ray. This is where you need to make your move as a Pupper Dog. Just go for the Baron. You have Puff Boy on the bot side with Teleport. He's also able to just solo lane against Krell. So you can go for this right now. This is the prime moment to make some kind of team fight. They still have the initiation from Synos, but they don't have the follow-up damage from the Vel'Koz. Except for right now, because it's just coming up.
They're playing it very safe on both sides. As we were mentioning, there is a little rivalry. This is both teams from the same school, both want those bragging rights, both want to be in the playoffs. Huge game for playoff seat, or just to get into the playoffs.
Puff Boy getting caught out a little bit by Krell and Hanu, but again, playing that Gnar, being able to get away so easily, taking a lot of damage, though. There's this Disintegration Ray from Hanu doing so much damage. Ultimate from Puff Boy might save him, but he is on the wrong side of the map. Who's going to get the kill? They gift it to ex-Soviets, and here you go. Now you're 2-2-2. Clean step.
Now he's got the Trinity Force, the Rage Blade, and the Bork will be very strong. Caitlin's starting to get into her third item as well. She does scale very well, also just not quite as well as the Cog.
And you gotta do something as the Fighting Saints. You have a 5v4. Go for the Baron. You gotta start it. Don't worry about waves. Just go for Baron.
And it looks like they may be following your wishes here.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's the right move. Make the play. You have your ultimates available. Everything is up except for the Vel'Koz ult, which is up in about 5 seconds. So you gotta make this play. There's not much that the Pupper Dogs can do to respond. Tempered Fate blown. Don't fight it. Just go for Baron. Wait for them to come a little closer, and then you can do your counter initiation. Demolisher gets a little caught out. There's a noob ultimate. Krell Unstoppable Force in. Baron secure. Demolisher ults to get out. Krell picking up the kill. Anyway, Updog, you're on the wrong side now. Magical Journey did not save your life, but the Blast Cone might have, as Krell now trying to get onto the backline of Ultimatum, and Winged Cow taking so much damage from this Caitlyn. Kiting incredibly. Finally, though, some action on the board, and a huge objective picked up for the Fighting Saints.
And the Fighting Saints finally start to try to break open this game a little bit. They pick up a Baron, pick up another kill on the backside of that on Demolisher. And let's see.
Ooh, flashing from Winged Cow does not land the ultimate, though, because it is not available. Questionable play there. Thought he could get the burst down, I suppose, but response flash from ex-Soviet means that he does survive, as well as having heal available. So all members having Baron, where do they go next?
And that is the real question. Will they continue to group and try to siege in the mid area? It looks like Dragon is live right now, and it is the Elder Dragon. Will they group around that area? It looks like the Bard is trying to get some vision.
Yeah, honestly, if you are the Fighting Saints, you don't go for Drake. Elder Drake is so strong for you right now because of your 3 Drakes, but it's a Wind Drake, a Cloud Drake, and a Mountain Drake. That's not going to give you incredible team fighting stats, so use Baron while you can. Push these waves while you can. Once you push the wave, get a turret or 2, then go for drag, or initiate another team fight. Synos is in deep, but no team to follow him up. Hanu, ultimate available. Is he going to use it? Decides to save it for the right moment, but flashed away from Puff Boy. In the meantime, 2 siege cannons is constantly pecking down that turret.
Yeah, and pretty nice engage there from Synos. Gets a multiple Sad Mummy ultimate.
Curse of the Sad Mummy.
Curse of the Sad Mummy ultimate.
Sad Mummy ultimate.
But not really much follow there coming in from the Fighting Saints. Not able to secure the kills.
And they're pinging drag. This isn't the move. You got to push these lanes while you have the Baron-empowered minions. You're just wasting your Baron that you spent so long to get. Yes, you'll get Elder Drag.
Are they getting a free Elder Drag?
They could be getting a free Elder Drag, but they're already winning the team fights. So I don't know what this is necessarily going to do for them unless they can win a huge team fight here and maybe just win the game with the last push from this Baron. It looks as if they're all attempting to go mid right now.
Yeah, now they have both buffs for a small period of time. For the next minute or 2, they will be very, very strong.
And the Sad Mummy curse is not up, but the Unstoppable Force is, as well as Hanoob's Disintegration Ray getting the kill on Ultimatum, and the Unstoppable Force onto Winged Cow. That's the other damage dealer coming in from Pupper Dogs. He goes down. Wild Growth onto Krill. That's a huge Malphite. Demolisher taking so much damage on the backline, and Synos is doing the best he can. Puff Boy going down to Hanoob. He goes godlike, and the Up Dog is the last member alive from the Pupper Dogs. Can he survive under turret against the two tanks from Fighting Saints? The answer is no. Ace goes to Krill the fourth, and maybe the game.
Doing his best there at the end of that to stay alive, but it does look like this will be game. They finally find their break. They get both buffs, and they commit to a fight. Hanoob with a great ultimate, able to pick up Ultimatum right away.
And they proved me wrong. The Elder Dragon definitely... It wasn't a horrible call. They were able to pick it up. I don't know how much it helped in that last team fight, but the team fight comp from this team composition was just so difficult to deal with. And absolutely, the Fighting Saints were able to play around that correct.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got to see a game go a little bit later there. That was kind of exciting.
That might be a record.
Yeah, 43-minute game between both College of Saints Classic. And that was an excellent game coming out from both sides. Well played by Fighting Saints at the end there to pick up the victory.
And again, it was such a dance. That entire game was just a back and forward around the mid lane, around the Dragons, and neither team really wanting to commit to it. And honestly, now thinking back on it, it makes sense with the Fighting Saints. They had the initiation, but they only wanted to use it, and they only did use it when Hanoob had his ultimate available. And also, they waited for ex-Soviet to reach a very large power spike on the Kog'Maw. He was building into Wit's End, but he already had Trinity Force, already had Bork, and already had the Guinsoo's Rage Blade, so he was doing so much damage. As soon as Synos or Krill the fourth went in, whatever targets were knocked up in CC just got instantly deleted. We talked about how Winged Cow with the cleanse could kind of survive the Amumu ult, but he couldn't really survive the follow-up from the Malphite as well.
Yeah, and Hanoob being pretty liberal with those ults for most of that game. The cooldown is pretty short on the disintegration, right? And able to pick off some pretty key members, just 0 to 100ing them pretty much with that ultimate ability.
Yeah, and that's, in my opinion, who's going to get the player of the game, being Hanoob on the Vel'Koz. So much damage put out, so much gold as well. And just looking at these damage charts, it goes Hanoob and then Krill the fourth, actually. Malphite did the second most damage in the game. Kog'Maw trailing much further behind than I expected, but keep in mind, a lot of what he was doing was pushing the side waves, and he was able to pick up 2 turrets, or 3 turrets, actually. So definitely helping out the team, but got to give it to Hanoob.
Yeah, and that damage not even close. Hanoob really playing well that game, as we were saying, just 0 to 100 people with the ultimates, as well as really opening up that last team fight by 0 to 100 ultimatum on this Caitlyn, getting rid of their main damage dealer right away in the fight, and just breaks the game open. I also would give it to him.
Yeah, and now this officially means it's a 4-way tie for that 8th spot position for the playoffs bracket. At the end of next week, it's any one of those 4 teams could take it. So that's the question going forward. Who does get the coveted spot? It'll be answered next week, as now we got to get ready for our final game of the evening. Ganked by Gophers against Mavericks. The 2 undefeated teams sitting at 9-0 in the standings, tied for first place, but not after tonight. So stick around, don't go anywhere, and we will be right back. All right, welcome back to our final game of Week 10 for Minnesota LCS. Possibly the most hyped game of the entire split, save for the finals coming weeks here. This is the tied for number one, teams playing against each other in Gangs by Gophers against Mankato State University. Both undefeated, both 9-0, but neither one can keep that record after this game. Somebody's got to lose.
Somebody will go down in this one and erase their perfect record. Erase was a difficult word to think but erase their perfect record. I'm curious to see, will it be Gank by Gophers or will it be Mankato Mavericks in a matchup, maybe finals matchup?
Yeah, honestly,
one that we could see in a couple weeks here.
Both of them be number one, tied for number one, means that going into playoffs, they will have the best two seeds in playoffs, meaning that they have the best chances of getting to the finals. That's what you earn by getting the number one and number two spots. So it would not be too big of a surprise to see those two. Keep in mind, there are upsets in Minnesota LCS. There's been plenty so far and plenty more to come. And whatever happens here, though, I think it would be hard to say it's an upset. Both of these teams look so even across the board in terms of just how well they perform as a team. Gank by Gophers choosing to focus more around their jungler, literally Potato, whereas Mankato play typically more around their top laner and feels Batman. So I'm curious to see how each of their strategies respectively play out in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And where will they go with the banning of these for both of these teams? We expect them to probably ban out Feels Batman as much as they can. We've seen teams try to ban out Potato in the past. Hasn't exactly worked that well. He's shown that he has a wide champion pool, can play a lot of things. We do expect to see the Azir ban against Woody Parker, as that's banned pretty much every week, or he plays it and goes off on it pretty much every time. So we expect to see that one off the table as well.
Yeah, and the two champions that are almost always banned against both of these teams, again, Azir against Woody Parker, and then Darius against Feels Batman. So I would not be too surprised to see either of those champions stay on the table. It just kind of makes sense to take away the best champ from the carries on each team. Woody Parker has shown that he struggles a little bit in the laning phase when he's not Azir. He still shows up huge in the late game, having some of the highest damage in the entire tournament. But again, struggling late game. We've seen him try out the Vigar. Again, lost to the Ahri in lane, playing the Victor, doing a little better in lane, and then both of them showing up later. So I'm curious to see how also Gank by Gophers plays around that trend. Or maybe Woody Parker's been working on that and it's no longer a trend anymore. Maybe he's trying to buck that.
Yeah, maybe he's getting over his one-trick Azir phase, as people have been calling him.
And looking at the side of Mankato State University, what I love to see is when the entire team makes a decision together to have the same summoner icon. You can't credit that enough.
Woody Parker's just messing it up for everybody. I mean, not even UMN. He doesn't even have the clan tag now. They have the same icon and the same clan tag.
Come on, are you even on Twin Cities team?
He just doesn't care.
Oh, and
yes, isn't even in their club. What is
whereas on the side of Mankato, you got it. It's already guaranteed. Mankato's gonna win.
Yeah, there's just so much more team unity here.
Same clan tag, same icons. Just the team synergy is on point.
Yeah, absolutely. Game over.
And both teams are all in, so we're going to check to see if they're ready. We're getting the ready for Gank by Gophers. Mankato already messaged me earlier. They're excited to get in. They're ready. And we get, not the ready from them yet, but hopefully soon. I want to get into this game as soon as possible to see the hype we have ready from both teams. So we should get into pick and ban very soon here. Here we go. Feels Batman banning for his team, but keep in mind, both these teams have coaches and they both have a lot of team communication. So they are all talking and deciding who to ban together. And that's the biggest difference between these teams and some of the lower ones in the standings is just the team unity that they have. We talked about that kind of jokingly with the summoner icons, but it's true with both these teams. They play it together and they win together, and they choose to ban out Shen.
Yeah, that is one of Spliffy's most played champions. We've seen him play it multiple times throughout the split, and obviously won on it every time, as they haven't lost quite yet in the split. And Ahri being banned away, and this is a pick that we've been mentioning all night. We'd love to see it banned out in the Minnesota LCS. It does seem like one of the strongest champions from a lot of the mid laners in this league.
Especially if you're on red side, because blue side has shown that they will pick that up if it's on the table. The only things getting picked instead of that are things like Graves, things like Lulu. So maybe we'll see those banned out as well. Or if they're both left on the table, puts Mankato in an awkward position because they have to decide which one do they want. Lulu is banned out against them. Graves still on the table. Kha'Zix still on the table.
Azir still on the table.
Azir still on the table. And Azir is not banned against Witty Parker. And Graves actually banned from blue side. That's questionable for the side of Mankato. Choosing to ban out the Graves because, again, it's such a power pick. You have first pick. Leave it up there so that then Ganked by Gophers have to ban it out. But it does mean that Kha'Zix is pretty much forced. Darius and Azir both on the table.
Both ready to be locked and loaded.
I would want to say I expect Darius, but I honestly don't think the Batman needs to pick that up right now. First of all, it gives some questionability if he's even going to play it, so they can't immediately counterpick it from Ganked by Gophers. Plus, I don't expect Spliffy to play it. So I would hope that they pick something else here. Maybe a different priority mid laner, such as the Orianna.
I hope that Spliffy plays Darius this game and Gigabyte plays Azir. That would just make me so happy.
Yeah, Gigabyte, lock in Azir. That's a secret strat. Take away the pocket picks from Ganked by Gophers. But the question is, maybe they left Azir on the table because they feel comfortable playing into it. Maybe they have the counter pick that Gigabyte feels comfortable playing as they lock in Caitlyn first. Orianna's still on the table. Most likely still going to get that if Witty Parker picks up.
And we have seen the priority of this Caitlyn seem to be rising tonight. It has 100% pick ban participation tonight, as well as we have seen I Love Varus play this champ the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see if Nevervote, picks up Kog'Maw. That's the match we saw the past 2 games. It's Caitlyn into Kog'Maw. Who scales better? Who wins lane? Caitlyn typically wins lane. Kog'Maw scaling a little better. So it depends on where do you want to put your resources. How late do you want the game to go? So this is the question now. What does Ganked by Gophers pick up? They have a lot of options here. They could pick up the Azir immediately, just so that Witty Parker for sure has it. But again, if they don't pick it up, there's some questionability if he's actually going to play it. I like this instead. They're locking in Lee Sin for Potato, one of those kind of carry junglers that he feels very comfortable on. And they're hovering Nautilus. If they lock this in, I wouldn't mind, but instead opting to take the Ashe into the Caitlyn. Interesting matchup.
Yeah, very interesting pick here. The Lee Sin was something we kind of expect here coming from Potato. Loves to play those early game junglers. Ashe is what they choose to pick into Caitlyn, which is an interesting choice. We've seen Nevervote Yes play Lucian a couple times last week. They first picked it twice. They seemed like they had really high priority. Caitlyn really does outrange Lucian, so they're going for more of the CCR bot of Ashe.
Ooh,
will be relevant.
Nautilus taken away from Spliffy. The question is that going to be top for Fields Batman or support for Ransack Moose? Because, again, we don't know. It could get flexed into the bottom lane. Karma locked in. They were hovering the Ivern, but instead trying to take something else off the table from Wiki. And so many flex picks here. Karma could go mid or bot. Nautilus could go top or bot. I would expect Nautilus top, Karma support, because that's just, in my opinion, where those two are strongest. But there is a lot of options. And, again, so much ambiguity in these drafting phases.
Yeah, and that is just where they traditionally go. But if the side of Ganked by Gophers picks something that is very good in the Nautilus top lane, then say, hey, maybe we can bring Nautilus to the support. Okay, we do see Azir locked in for Witty Parker, something that we do expect. So will we see Karma lane into that or not?
And the question is, Karma, at least in my experience and as well listening to a lot of what the analysts say in the LCS, Karma can be considered a counterpick into the Azir. I don't know if that's what Witty Parker feels. If that's what Ganked by Gophers feel, maybe they think that Azir is good into the Karma, but they're going to take it. Maybe they're calling the bluff. Maybe they think, no, we assume you're sending Karma bot, so we're still picking Azir, but then that would be a blind pick into the mid lane. So Witty Parker, you get your comfort pick, but maybe they're sacrificing the lane advantage. I like the Maokai pickup, though. It might be Maokai into Nautilus top again.
It's just what we have to live with for this one.
Yeah. You know what?
I'll take it.
These are smart teams that are drafting like full, well-rounded team compositions, and both of those top laners just. So I can't be mad, but I can be a little disappointed. As Elise, they were hovering the Ivern for so long. Elise is locked in. LeBlanc mid, meaning Karma is bot. They called the bluff, and they know what's going on in the mid lane.
Yeah, very meta picks coming here from both sides. This would probably be the least meta pick if the Morgana does get locked in here.
Well, Azir also not really meta.
True.
He's seen some rise in popularity.
A little bit of rise in popularity. It's just it just looks meta when Witty Parker plays it, man.
It's Witty Parker's meta. Let's just say that. As we are seeing him with his pocket pick, again, keep in mind, feels bad, man, not taking Darius. So Ganked by Gophers, wise to not ban that out. It would have been a wasted ban. He wasn't planning on playing it anyway. And, ooh, Morgana is locked in. The Black Shield very strong against the Elise's ganks, as well as LeBlanc being so strong at roaming. If she's able to land that chain, the Black Shield definitely helps keep Ashe alive. And also just the initiation. If you're able to lock down Caitlyn or lock down Karma, the double CC from Ashe Arrow and Morgana Bind just I mean, you can't move for about 5 seconds.
Yeah. Lots of CC coming in here from the spot lane. Pretty pokey coming in from the Caitlyn and the Karma. That can be very frustrating lane against if you could get hit by empowered Q of Karma into a couple of Caitlyn autos. It can be really just like half your life gone very quickly. So no real surprise in the pick ban phase here, I would say, from either side.
And something interesting to note here. Both top laners tanks. They can both be that tanky front line that each team needs. Both junglers, very consistent, strong clears, and pretty good pick potential. Both mid laners, kind of duelist mid laners in a way, where they can do some flashy things in the 1v1. Shurima shuffles from Azir, the distortions from LeBlanc. Both AD carries with their ultimates being able to hit from very long range. One's more of an initiation, the other kind of like a cleanup kill or just an annoyance. And then both supports being that AP support. So similar drafts from both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty similar comps. Both comps do tend to do very similar things here. They have their damage dealers in the mid lane and the AD carry position, and then just champs to really help them out, help facilitate that. The Lee Sin and the Elise, both very, very aggressive early. Good clears, can gank very well early. Lots of damage early. They do both kind of fall off later in the game. And then it says Maokai and Nautilus beating on each other in the top lane.
So one interesting thing to note is, again, yes, I believe both junglers very similar. The question is who plays it better. Literally, Potato has shown that he can carry very, very, very consistently, except for last week. We saw a little stumbles last week on his Kha'Zix play, but outside of that, he's shown very clean play throughout the entire tournament, under 50%. Similar, but not quite to the same extent. So I think in this matchup, it comes down to which jungler has more mechanical skill and also just knows the jungle better. Because in the mid lane, we see the Azir into the LeBlanc. Azir taking teleport, showing that Ganked by Gophers is looking to make more team plays, whereas Gigabyte just hoping to win lane.
Yeah, and this is something we've seen a couple times tonight. It's been an interesting topic. Do you want to take that summoner, that lane summoner spell, or do you want to take the teleport, try to help your team around the map a little bit more? Cleanse is a little bit safer. So as we've said throughout the split, the mid lane second summoner spell can really be anything. So many viable choices there.
Yeah, so I definitely like the pick for Azir. I mean, honestly, an exhaust or something along the lines of barrier might have been better to survive against LeBlanc, which in my opinion, again, is more of a counter pick against the Azir. So hopefully Witty Parker knows what he's doing. He's most likely played enough Azir games to understand how the matchup goes.
I would assume.
And now about the bot lane. Who do you think comes out ahead in that? We talked about the pokiness from the Karma Caitlyn, but there is a slight shield defense from Morgana as well as the initiation from the Ashe.
Yeah, I think that the aggression in the bottom lane will be coming from the Caitlyn Karma. But Ashe and Morgana do have the tools to play against that aggression. I just think it's going to be very difficult for them to start the engage until they hit 6 and they have that Ashe arrow as well as the Morgana Q. Then it's going to be much easier.
And Potato constantly, what I would assume, is pressuring bot side. That seems to be where he wants to go. Mid and bot is going to really be where he's hanging. Top lane, I mean, you can get kills on the Nautilus, but when you have a Maokai, it's just a little more difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. And kills on the Maokai is obviously great. He just becomes unkillable, but I would rather have those kills on my Ashe or my Azir on my team, get my damage dealers ahead, start deleting some people.
The question is, will under 50% understand that as well? Because he, again, has a very strong ganking jungler in the early stages of the game. So who is he going to try to get ahead, the LeBlanc or the Caitlyn?
Yeah, I'm very curious to see where these junglers go about, and I think that that could be the key to the game here. How does the junglers affect the game early? As we keep saying, they're just both very aggressive early junglers, have great ganking potential early. Where do they put their attention, and where are they successful? Whoever has the first successful gank first could really break the game up. And
talking about, we mentioned in the beginning, Ganked by Gophers play around Potato. whereas Mankato play around Batman. Well, Batman's playing Nautilus. That's not a carry top laner. So talking about just the general team strategies, I got to give this to Ganked by Gophers. The comps are so comparable.
The comps are comparable.
The comp is comparable, but I like the teleport coming in from Azir in terms of just being able to roam around the map, pressure other lanes. I like how aggressive LeBlanc is going to be, but I got to give it to Ganked by Gophers for the overall team comp. I think that they just have a better, well-rounded pick potential as well as defensive stats. But getting into this game, we have Ganked by Gophers, Spliffy in the top lane, Potato jungle, Whitty Parker mid, Never Vote Yes, and Wiki on the bot side, whereas Mankato feels Batman top lane, under 50% in the jungle, hopefully performing above 50% this game, with Gigabyte mid, I Love Varus and Ransack Moose on the bot lane. Just had to get that out there. Now, who do you think had the better team comp?
I do agree with you. I like Ganked by Gophers team comp a little bit better for taking picks. They do have Whitty Parker on that super comfort champion that he's very, very good on, often gets banned out. I like it a little bit more, but the comps are so similar that it's really hard to say.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely a match of skill as opposed to the match of comp. Both of these teams, the highest skilled teams in the tournament so far, as their standings have proven. 9-0 for both of them. Who will win, though? Let us know in the Twitch chat. Hashtag GBGWin or hashtag MavWin. Let us know your thoughts and who you think had the best team comp. Also tweet at LOLE or at MNLCS and at MN Sir Buttkick to let us know if we're right or if we're wrong.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see here UMN looking to counter cheese a little bit there, but Maverick's playing this very safe, looking at all the choke points, making that UMN doesn't try to do anything spicy. Do not want to give up any early advantages here.
And something of interest to note is where these junglers are starting. Potato going for Raptors first, whereas under 50% is actually getting solo on the red buff. I Love Varus already taking a lot of damage from Never Vote Yes, and Wiki the all-in exhaust is there. Heal pops from Varus. The damages is there. The first blood. Flash from Never Vote Yes. Ransack Moose. Can he even get away? Flash available. Does he use it? Flashing the binding from Morgana. And already some action in the bot lane.
Wow, I would love to see how that happened at the very beginning. I'm assuming Wiki hit a bind and they just got a lot of burst damage, but really nice from Wiki and Never Vote Yes, picking up all 4 summoner spells from the opposing bot lane, as well as picking up that first blood just 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and I was going to mention the jungle path. He didn't even have time, but under 50% taking that red buff on his own as Feels Batman entered lane a little late. So there's a little bit of mental games, as I would assume Ganked by Gophers think that under 50% started on his blue and then went to red. Instead, started on red, now going to blue. I'm expecting an early gank top lane on the Spliffy, who might be none the wiser.
And I would expect for Potato to look to go bot and punish that even more with no summoner spells up for Ransack Moose or I Love Varus. Never Vote Yes still having the heal as long as Wiki's still having the flash. They can really look to punish this bot lane.
He is heading on the bot side. No summoner spells available. And Wiki going straight in on a Ransack Moose. Cannot even survive. The binding lands on a Varus. Wiki picking up a kill. And Potato already making a roam, but under 50%. Looking to answer. This is what we were talking about. Mid lane might be where they need to put their pressure if they can get Gigabyte ahead. It really helps in the matchup in the LeBlanc versus Azir.
Under 50% is going to have to start to make his moves soon. I don't like it when junglers stay too long in one area.
I think he's waiting for Gigabyte to land a chain and get some kind of CC onto Whitty Parker, but Whitty Parker playing very safe and backs up another binding onto I Love Varus. And this Caitlyn Karma comp that we were talking about should be out-poking the Ashe and the Morgana, taking so much damage and behind already 10 CS at 3.5 minutes in.
Yeah, Caitlyn with only 9 farm to her name. The Ashe already has 10 more CS, a kill, and an assist. Very far ahead in this bottom lane. Pretty close trade there in the top lane.
And Spliffy kind of low on mana, so I'm expecting perhaps a back or just a focus more on the farm. Having that Doran's Ring, trying to get some of that mana back. Feels Batman having a pretty big wave here to soak up. He's going to be slightly ahead of his lane opponent, but under 50% is just kind of roaming around. He goes top, can't get anything there after being mid and not getting anything there. So what are you going to do? Is Potato going bot lane again? Still no summoner spells available. Ransack Moose goes down. Wiki with his second kill of the game. 3 kills on the bottom side.
And Potato, I expect him to just continue to do this. Flash is still not up for either bot side member. Just so far ahead. I think that under 50% is going to have to pay a visit to stop the bleeding here in this bot side.
And I'm surprised he hasn't yet, or at least the vision control from this bot side. You gotta expect, if you don't have any sums, Potato will come to the bottom side. You gotta get the wards down. You gotta figure out where he is so you can play correctly. And Mankato just not respecting Potato's roam potential.
And really quite even.
Ooh.
Is he going to miss one of those?
Bear's walking right into that binding.
And really pretty even across the board, aside from the spot lane getting so far ahead so early here. Very even in the mid lane, very even in the top lane. It's just Potato making his presence known a little bit earlier and a little bit faster than 50%.
Jumping in that way, Parker, but not going for the chain. Doesn't want to actually go for the full trade. And some of this itemization in the mid lane, Woody Parker opting more for that early game advantage. Having the double Doran's ring means that he has slight advantage in overall stats as well as mana regen over Gigabyte, who opted for a back, picking up boots and amplifying tome. So yes, slightly more AP. Only slightly, and you're missing some of that health. You're missing a lot of that mana regen. So I honestly like what Woody Parker here is doing. He understands he's going to be hitting his power spike a little later anyway. So let's try to mitigate that by getting more early game items.
Yeah, absolutely. The Doran's ring doubling up, going to give him that mana regen. And pretty close here in the mid lane, even in farm. Let's see where 50% tries to make his first move. Hasn't really even attempted a gank yet. He's Gigabyte getting quite low there, but hasn't.
And Woody Parker had the Shurima shuffle, but he didn't want to go for it. Gigabyte having flash available as well as just being LeBlanc, you know, doing LeBlanc things. Oh, doesn't even have the mana for it. Gigabyte jumps back in, Ignite rather is down and actually gets a solo kill. Woody Parker with no mana available, literally Potato flashing in, under 50% missing the cocoon. Can Potato get this? He actually goes down. A double kill to Gigabyte, and that gank goes horribly for Ganked by Gophers.
And really well played there by Gigabyte. He realizes that he has the summoners, he has the exhaust, going to be able to use it on the Azir with the Manaless, cannot use the Shurima shuffle, cannot get the ending damage, able to finish him off. Then Potato comes in, misses his flash Q, and goes down under 50%, finally getting in on a kill there.
And this is the pain when you take teleport on the Azir instead of a defensive summoner spell like the exhaust, like the barrier, especially against the LeBlanc. She had Ignite, understood that she won the trade. She was about, I don't know, 10% health. Woody Parker was half health, but she knew the math. It was calculated. That wasn't a fluke that happened. So really well played from Gigabyte.
Yeah, most mid laners would not see that opening there. Gigabyte does. Picks up the kill as well as another one on off Potato. Under 50%. Trying to be a safety blanket for this bottom lane here.
Yeah, and this is the question. Where does Potato go next? He already failed to flash Q onto the mid lane. And LeBlanc is so slippery that you almost have to just let the Azir and her battle it out. So he's got to keep going bot. Again, top lane against the Nautilus. Just not a great lane to gank. He's so tanky, has so much CC that he can just get away from you. So Potato going on the bot lane. Arrow lands onto Ransack, moves 50. Potato is there trying to get the damage, but gets exhausted and can't quite get it in. The chain CC means he dies to under 50%.
Yeah, and heal coming out there from the Caitlyn, able to keep the Karma alive, not able to beat the kill.
Binding lands from Wiki.
50% is still here.
Cocoon onto Wiki. I Love Varus gets the trap and trying to trade as much damage as possible. Potions blown.
And UMN getting a little bit too aggressive on the bot side here. Thought that they had the kill. Heal comes in, able to keep them alive, and they do lose another one. Under 50%. They're starting to really make his presence known, finally making a real impact on this at least.
Yeah, and Potato now 0-2-2. Again, we talked about how Ganked by Gophers, they perform very well when he's ahead, and they struggle when he's behind, as we saw last week. He had a Kha'Zix game that was a little questionable with some of the plays, and here again, taking that, that dive under turret, you know that exhaust is there, you know they have heal. Yeah, he didn't necessarily see under 50%, but even if 50% hadn't been there, I don't see them getting that kill. Gigabyte dodging the Shurima damage from Woody Parker, and under 50% actually with another phenomenal roam into the mid lane. We're talking about how at the beginning he wasn't really moving that much, but now he's really picking it up.
And these mid laners are trading so heavily. They keep getting so low on health, and now 2 times in a row, the Elise has gotten there and really helped Gigabyte pick up that kill onto Woody Parker.
And feels Batman with a sizable CS advantage over Spliffy. That feels good as well as a Nautilus into the Maokai, because again, you're not really going to get a 1v1 kill in this matchup, so it's all about the CS. Who gets ahead in the minion count, because that is really what's going to decide the match.
So Mankato doing a great job here getting the mid lane as well as the top lane pretty far ahead here after that catastrophic series of events that happened in the bot lane, getting so far behind on the Caitlyn and the Karma. Able to pick up a nice...
Under 50% on the top side. Do they want to dive this? He shows himself, meaning that Potato knows he's top and can go somewhere else into the mid lane. Gigabyte and Woody Parker keep the mental games going. It's a chessboard in the mid lane with the Azir versus LeBlanc, but under 50% trying to come in. Arrow lands on a Ransack boost. Potato is behind. Kick available. Does he go for it? Knocks. Ransack moves into never vote yes, but takes the kill himself. Teleport completed from Fuel's Batman. But a little too late, meaning that Spliffy actually gets a lot of pressure on the top side. Woody Parker getting CC'd, but under his own turret.
A nice coordination there. Really early ultimate from Never Vote Yes. It connects. This little Potato follows up.
Feels Batman taking some more damage here. He's still on the bottom side.
And feels, oh my goodness.
Flash away from I Love Varus. The hook just barely doesn't make it. And Varus is trying to get away, taking so much damage from Wiki. Is he going to pick up his 3rd kill? Unfortunately not. Potion is popped. And a little bit of damage traded. Potato's still on the bot side.
Maybe.
I thought he was going to shield Wiki just for fun. Yeah, I got you. I got you,
Can't get anything else there for that. And feels Batman not quite a successful teleport. Maybe helps save his support's life there.
Well, the support was dead either way. Maybe saved I Love Varus having that
80 carries. Like.
And is now roaming topside again. This is really good for Spliff. He has teleport available still, so TP advantage. But more importantly, he's able to catch up in that CS. I would have liked to see him push more aggressively. He backed and walked top. I would have liked to see him push the wave in, back and go top. But regardless, he is catching up a little bit.
Yeah, and as I was trying to mention before, and something broke up, but so far ahead here for UMN in the bottom lane, but that is really their only real advantage here. In the top lane, the Nautilus is ahead in farm. The jungle matchup is pretty close, as Potato does have a sizable farm lead, but an extra kill on the Elise. Woody Parker falling behind a Gigabyte.
And taking a lot of damage as he go for the shuffle. Gigabyte able to just walk away.
Constant
and the mind
battling.
games.
Yeah, constant battling in them.
Ignite's still up for Gigabyte, so offensively wise, advantage to the LeBlanc, but Potato is around that mid side. These top laners just keep slapping each other. Yeah. Oh, the Shuriba Shovel lands on the Gigabyte, able to jump back, misses the chain, the flash in from Potato, the kick, the kill. Potato with his 2nd kill of the game. Might get caught out here by under 50%. The cocoon lands, the damage is there. Ransack Moose able to get the binding, but doesn't quite get it. Flash in from Ransack Moose, or under 50% rather. He wants the kill, but Potato goes back in. Woody Parker gets the kill.
Really well played by Woody Parker and Potato. They're able to commit on that over-aggression coming in there from under 50%. They have the damage. Q lands. They go back in. Go.
And summoner spells blown all across the board. Gigabyte with none. Under 50% with none. Feels Batman on top with none. Potato has his pick. Where is he going to go next? Maybe not bot lane this time, because of the exhaust, because of the heal. But now I Love Varus getting hit by the arrow. He might not even need to go bot, as Varus is taking a lot of damage. Ransack Moose with the Mantra Defiance means that he does survive. Actually, even damage traded back to Wiki.
They were able to get the flash out of Ransack Moose, however, so slight win in that engagement for UMN.
And feels Batman. Sees that Spliffy is low on mana. He wants to get the damage there, but you're just not going to get the kill. Focus on the farm. Missing a cannon minion and all.
Does make Spliffy have to back.
Oh, damage onto I Love Varus. This bot lane is so touchy. Who is going to win it? Spliffy's still going in on the feels Batman. Gigabyte with the roam bot lane. That's why you take the black shield, but that doesn't matter. He goes down. Gigabyte jumps back under turret. He could have stayed safe away. Teleport does not complete. Doesn't even matter. As there's a triple kill going over to Woody Parker. Actually, it was the teleport. I thought that was Spliffy teleporting. Teleport does complete from Woody Parker and picks up a triple.
And there's the teleport coming from Gank by Gophers. There's that mid lane summoner spell that we were talking about earlier and comes in huge for Gank by Gophers. Probably going to be able to get this first turret in the bot lane as well. Looked initially like a nice roam from Gigabyte, able to pick off the kill on Wiki right away. But the teleport coming in from Woody Parker gives him a triple on this Azir.
Yeah, and what seemed like a really good start from Ganked by Gophers, then a good counterplay from Mankato, evening out the gold lead. Well, now they're 5k behind, or 4.5k behind, losing first turret, losing first dragon, and also losing essentially the bot lane. I love Varus being behind by 30 in farm, as well as so much kill participation to never vote yes.
Yes, never vote yes. 1-0-6 on this Ashe, and this is something that the Ashe does extremely well. It does have that nice pick potential with the ultimate, just walking around, pressing R on whoever she can, unleashing whatever damage she can. Also great pick potential from the Morgana.
Ooh, and Gigabyte is onto Wiki. Ransack Moose is there as well, but Potato doesn't care. Doing so much damage, but trading his life potentially in the process. Ooh, barely doesn't complete the ward jump. Arrow goes wide, but Woody Parker is here. The repel over the wall doesn't matter. Spliffy picking up his first kill of the game, and this is what the double teleport comp can do. You just collapse these team fights. What a lot of teams do is they'll see a fight start and they'll say, oh, I'll push a wave. But no, Spliffy sees a fight start, teleports in and says, team, keep the fight going. I'll get there and we'll win. And that's exactly what Ganked by Gophers do.
Yeah, and once again, it looked like that was going to be a good engagement for Mankato. They looked like they had Wiki locked up.
Ooh, another turret down and a great black shield from Wiki. Means that Feels Batman cannot even get in to initiate there.
Looked like they had Wiki locked up. Potato jumps in, picks up a kill. He does fall, however. Spliffy with a nice teleport, picking up another kill, and the mid tower making something bad good again for Ganked by Gophers.
And what was a 4.5k gold lead is now 6k. There you go.
Math is not an easy thing.
6k gold lead for Ganked by Gophers. So far ahead in kills, in turrets now. They have their one drag, which means that their rotations are only going to be even stronger. Potato able to roam that jungle so much more efficiently now.
Yeah, absolutely. And Potato, as well as under 50%, kind of hovering on the top side.
Gigabyte going in, 1v2 onto Wiki. He's got the damage, under 50%. Cocoon lands, exhaust onto Gigabyte, but you might need to focus on under 50% as that's one member down. Potato is on the top side, jumping onto under 50%. Under 50, you cannot juke auto attacks from the Ashe. Arrow is up. Does he? Oh, it's up in about 2 seconds. Does he use it to try to pick up the kill? It's not going to be worth it, but really well played there by Ganked by Gophers. Incredible defense.
Yeah, once again, it looks... Ganked by Gophers is a great job of counter-engaging in the game. It seems like Kato keeps having these nice plays where they pick off somebody, pick off a member or two, but Ganked by Gophers always has the correct response and able to keep ahead in that gold lead.